Good afternoon and welcome, everybody. This would be the Jeff Cameron Show right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Thanks so much for tuning to it, and a fine Libations Friday to you and yours. All right, we're getting there. We're getting there. Loosey-goosey edition of the program, as we're wont to do, as you well know. You can listen to it live via the streaming ESPNTallahassee.com, or you can email the program. Those are two very different things. JCS at 979ESPNradio.com. Find me on Twitter at JCameronShow, where you can now also watch the show on Twitter there with the Periscope. Although, we're not Periscoping today, are we?
I think so, yeah.
We are? We can Periscope?
You can do on-demand Periscoping.
That's fantastic. What a world we live in. Go to the ESPN, the 97.9 ESPN Tallahassee app or Twitter feed, and you'll find it, and it's good stuff. No Periscoping. Is that what we're getting told now over here? All right.
No, we are. Right now there's like a generic message that's on the
screen.
That's on the screen, but it's going to switch over to video in a second.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get that worked out. And might note, the WTSM app is free for your mobile devices. You'd be surprised. We pimp these things at the start of every show. I want people to be aware of the many ways that they can get the show, right? Because sometimes, I get it. My listening habits to the things that I enjoy vary greatly, based on the fact that there are shows I listen to that my kids can't listen to, and there are things that I listen to my wife doesn't want to listen to, and so I have stuff on my phone and on my computer and on my tablet and on apps and on demand and all that stuff. So that's why we prattle through all these things at the start of every show. We want you to know there's a lot of ways to take in the program, and you'd be shocked at how many people don't realize that the simplest way, frankly, besides terrestrial radio, is the WTSM app. It is a free app. Go to your app store, whatever you have, and just download it, and you can listen to this show in its entirety every day on your app. Like if you're complaining about Tropos, which is not something we can do anything about. I don't like to draw attention to it, but occasionally I got it. You're driving around, and it goes, and it pisses you off. I got you. Throw on the app, baby. As long as you're not driving like a 77 Bug, your car is equipped with the ways to do this thing,
It's got an auxiliary cord.
That's right.
If
you a Kraft Nissan and get you a brand new car, and you're good to go, or a used one.
Man, I'm closing in on a year of having this here Nissan Sentra fully loaded, I might add.
Nicely done.
With the heated seats for this time of year.
It's actually come in handy.
Yes.
I'm just beginning old. I never thought I'd do it. I always thought it was kind of silly. I turned on my my steering wheel heater.
Oh, you have a steering wheel heater?
I do, Tom. I do have a steering wheel heater.
Does that burn your fingerprints?
It doesn't, but it warms up quickly. You'd be surprised. This morning I got in, I hit it. It was whoop. Oh, there you go. Barely out of my driveway. Warm hands. It was very nice.
Well, I liked it because yesterday I was going to work out in the morning with our old friend Bill at Frequency XP, and I hit the heated seats, and those are good for my legs because I'd stretch before I got in the car. But if you get in the car and it's 22 degrees as it was in the morning,
that's brutal.
Yeah, your muscles seize up, and then you can't be ready to go. But everything stayed warm.
All right, so here's our situation. I think I laid it out before you guys yesterday.
You did.
And I'm going to reiterate it here, and it's why. And you know what? This is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. The fact that we are playing a game tomorrow that will make you nervous is a good thing. Now, I don't like playing games that make me nervous this early in the year. And I actually am having a hard time getting a feeling on this one. Because here's the deal. I said over our next 3 games, Florida State basketball, if the Noles don't go 2-1, you can mash the red button, which is the panic, we're screwed, this season is off the tracks, the plane has crashed into the mountain button. And what'll happen, and I just have this weird vibe about this, what'll happen is you'll go play this game tomorrow in Castle Coliseum, Blacksburg, Virginia, and I've been there, and you'll lose it. We'll drop this game in heartbreaking fashion too. It ain't going to be one of these, oh, well, it's decided. It'll be like 74-74, 10 seconds to play. We're going to do something stupid, foul somebody. They'll go to the line, make one of two. We'll have a final possession, and we miss the shot.
I don't want to live that before I have to live that if I have to live that.
That's true. Very specific what I just gave you there. But anyhow.
That's brutal.
It was very specific.
Because that's a noon tip. So
it ruins your day.
Yeah, you're screwed at 2:30.
Yeah.
What am I going to do now with the rest of my day?
Drink. The thing of it is.
I do have a Margaritaville.
That's right. I've always been envious of that. Our mutual friend and former colleague bought you one, and I'm like, what am I, a ghost?
Yeah.
I've been asking for one of these things for how many years?
Yeah. That's true. And I can count on my hand how many times I used it.
Probably never have. It's probably just sitting there going, Jeff could use me. Now, here's the thing. So, I recognize scenarios that put our fan base in a tizzy and get them freaking out. And the most obvious one is to lose this game, be on a losing streak now, and then just cast aside all hope. Just leap from the mountains, become a lemming, and fall right off the edge. And I'll be the one that has to come in on Monday, very nervous, I might add, and say, well, now, hold on. It does look dire, but we have 2 home games this week coming up, and they're of vital importance, obviously. You'll have to beat Georgia Tech at home, and you'll have to beat Miami at home. And we will. And we will.
Oh, my goodness.
And then we'll be 4-5, and all is not lost, and they will bring back hope. You'll suddenly feel like, okay, I had given up the whole year, and now they bring me back in. Now I got to believe. And that's frustrating. It's just much easier to jettison hope. But I kind of see a scenario.
So you're calling the scenario a week and a half out. Because that'll be the Monday broadcast of next week.
Yeah.
Not this upcoming Monday, but the one after that.
A week from
in which
Monday.
You'll say, see, we're right back on track.
Right back on track. I'm madder every day about the second half of the Louisville game. I really am. That game pisses me off to no end because it did put us in limbo. It put us in a tough predicament now where the wiggle room is nil. And that angers me because it didn't have to happen. And it did. Now, you saw Louisville go on the road and beat Notre Dame the other night.
Yeah, they're 4-1 in conference. Yeah.
They're good. I mean, the point of it is they're good. They play great defense. They got good players.
Everybody's good in this freaking conference, apparently. Apparently, Boston College is great.
Well, I don't know if they're great, but they're good. They're not
capable
terrible.
of beating Duke. They lose to Virginia by a point.
That's correct.
Beat our ass.
They did.
I know we came back at the end. Come on.
Well,
they laid the groundwork.
We did bring it back. We did come back at the end. That's what we do. But again, I'll just tell you this right now. By the way, we did not touch on this yesterday, and I should have. You know that Clemson, you saw this. I had previewed it a little bit. Clemson played North Carolina the other night, and Clemson lost to North Carolina. 0-59 in Chapel Hill. Now, this isn't Clemson headlines or we're not there, but, I mean, God, dog. That they were for the – I thought Clemson was going to end the streak. I thought they would because they were 15-2, 4-1 in the ACC, ranked in the top 20. I've watched North Carolina play. They've got a lot of good players, but they're young and they're not consistent. And I thought, well, you know what? This is going to be the Clemson team that breaks the streak. 0-59.
Good luck with that, Clemson.
And there it is. I mean, they immediately got down. They were down by 15 points. Later, they were down by 18 points. They made 15 straight shots. Clemson did. They come out and they make – can you imagine being North Carolina? Imagine how angry you'd be watching Florida State, and these a-holes are knocking down 15 straight shots. They did. They hit 15 straight shots in the next 11 minutes to cut it to 64-62.
My God.
They were getting trounced. They came all the way back, and I meant to text you. I was going to say, hey, put this on. You may be watching history. I mean, one day we're going to see Clemson beat North Carolina in Chapel Hill. But what ended up happening was North Carolina stemmed the tide. They won 87-79, 0-59. And that is incredible because it is it's a mark of futility that's seldom ever seen.
Yeah, what's crazy about that, too, is, Clemson and North Carolina don't have, at least in my lifetime, a whole lot of bad blood. I can remember them playing in the ACC title game in football a couple of years ago, but Clemson and North Carolina, their paths don't really cross all that much. But at some point, if you're a North Carolina fan, you say, look at what we got going on here.
Oh, I'd bring it up like randomly every day.
Right.
Yeah.
Where is that? 15? I mean, it's got to be a low number that you start saying, well, good God, guys.
At some point,
20 in a row.
Well, what's our record in football against Duke?
Right, yeah.
I mean, we never really bring it up. It's an afterthought. And we've never lost to them. I know
Has
that.
it really ever gotten to 20 or?
Well, I mean, football, I'm saying, we've never lost to them. We've been in the conference since 92.
I know, but they were on the other side, and we don't play everybody every year. Oh, I'll see if I can
pull up Duke. Pull up what our all-time record is against Duke in football. But, no, and you're right. It's not like basketball, but it is crazy. I don't know. It's that situation with Kentucky and Florida in football where that's an insane streak. That has no business.
It's 18, so we're 2 away from the million here. And we tried to lose one this year. But then Cutcliffe said, hey, I'm moving down the field without any problem. Let me call it a trick play.
The dreaded too cute. Too cool for school.
That would be 18 straight for Florida State over the span of 25 years.
Yeah, they've never beaten us. I know they did rise up and beat Miami.
Oh, well, excuse me. See, I'm on this site called Winsipedia. Okay, it's Winsipedia. But it would appear we may actually be at 20 because they have 2 vacated games.
Oh,
and it says vacated in gray.
There's no such thing as a vacated
I'm not going to count on the air, but let me go confirm that while you make your next point.
Let me just tell you something right now. There's no such thing as vacated victories. Or losses, for that matter. There's none of that. It doesn't exist. It's nonsense. And that's true for all schools.
So it is 20 in a row.
20
yeah. So they have their vacated nonsense here.
Yeah, that's nonsense. Get that the hell out of here. That's ridiculous. You're not vacating nothing. We don't even vacate USC's championships where they're just straight out paying Reggie Bush's family to live in a $250,000 house, buying him a car and everything else. That's like the ultimate form of cheating. They're flying him to the games. We don't vacate that.
Well,
they want them.
And if you're North Carolina sports, the NCAA
you
says,
can vacate the whole thing. Yeah.
We're just stamping approval here.
Well, yeah, if you're North Carolina, you can systematically cheat for decades. And, don't worry about it. You're North Carolina.
That's a good resource, though, if anybody's ever looking for an all-time record.
Except for they don't include vacated.
But it's at least there so you can count it, and it's noted. So, Winsipedia. Yeah. How about that?
Winsipedia. All right, so we could beat Virginia Tech, by the way. There is that option that the legs are rested, and you come back and you play a good basketball game tomorrow at noon. You like that it's noon?
I don't know. Because
I think so. It's at their place.
You know what a noon tip tomorrow begs for me? A 32% first half shooting performance.
Nooners do tend to, for whatever reason, produce for us, or maybe that's just the way we think about it, produce for us a really poor shooting endeavor.
Or historically, we just haven't shot that well under this coach, even though we've had a good offensive renaissance of sorts.
Oh, big time, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but still, we're in a slump now, and there's no two ways about that.
We'll talk about that game in a moment. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
I'm talking tough, like a state of mind. Tough, like a soldier on the front line. Tough when it gets rough, like my Ford truck. Always enough, I'm talking tough.
Franklin Spring Creek Ford, the place to find your next truck in southern Georgia.
I'm talking tough.
Hey, Hey y'all, we're Chris and Preston from Low Cash. Head to Franklin, Spring Creek Ford and see them about all of your vehicle needs.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Hey, 833-4-DRDELAY. That's 833, the number 4, Dr. Delay. The sooner you seek treatment, the sooner you can get back to feeling like your normal self. That's 833, the number 4, Dr. Delay.
For 45 years, Andrews has been serving up memories in the heart of Tallahassee. Today, Andrews is better than ever with an all-new look, Tallahassee's original Sunday brunch, and a new outdoor pergola. Make memories at Andrews, better than ever.
This Day in Sports, brought to you by Superlube, 19 Tallahassee area locations. Quick, convenient, no appointment necessary. Get your history lesson weekdays at 5:30 during the Jeff Cameron Show, right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
I give to you easy laundry service from my friends at Wash Around the Clock. Oh, buddy, this is a game changer. If you're like me, your life is hectic. Between work, school, your kids' sporting events and activities, well, it leaves you precious little time to kick back and take a load off. About the last thing you want to do is hours of laundry, but there it sits, staring at you, taunting. No more. That's right. More watching, less washing. Save hours of valuable time when you sign up not doing laundry with easy laundry service from Wash Around the Clock. Whether it's dry cleaning or just plain laundry, Wash Around the Clock's easy laundry service will pick up and deliver at your home or office. So sign up for free today at easylaundry.net, or you can give them a call, 850-597-9007. Again, sign up today at easylaundry.net. Oh, and by the way, I got you. Use promo code JCS20 and save 20%. That's promo code JCS20. You're saving 20% on your first order. That's easylaundry.net from Wash Around the Clock.
Attention all business owners now listening. I'm Alan Willis, the general manager of WTSM 97.9 ESPN Radio. ESPN is the best known sports brand in the world, and your business in the Tallahassee area can be associated with it, whether it be on nationally produced shows like Golick and Wingo, Dan Le Batard, Stephen A. Smith, or locally produced favorites like The Jeff Cameron Show or Wake Up War Chant. We have it all. Oh, and did I mention that it's all very affordable? We have helped many businesses in all categories solve their marketing problems, and we would love to help your business next. It's easy. Just pick up the phone and call me at 561-8400 during normal business hours, or go to espntallahassee.com anytime and shoot me an email. No matter your advertising budget, we can help you solve your marketing problems and have fun doing it. Let my team of professionals go to bat for your business. Call me today, Alan Willis, at 561-8400, and get your business off the bench and into the game today with WTSM 97.9 ESPN Radio.
This is the Jeff Cameron Show. Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Leads the all-time series against Virginia Tech. 32 wins to 22 losses. 15-13 is what we were against them in the Metro. We were Metro rivals from 79 to 91. 13-7 is what our record is against the Hokies since they joined the ACC 10 years ago. Have I told you that Virginia Tech is one of my favorite ACC teams?
Is it really?
I like Virginia Tech. I got no problems with Virginia Tech. Good on you.
Huh.
Yeah, well, I mean, think about it. We don't do this. We don't have this conversation all that often, but who's your second favorite ACC school?
Oh, boy, I'd have to think about that.
Right. Well, no, I'm not saying I walk around with a Hokie sweatshirt or anything. I'm just saying.
Sure.
If you tell me, whenever they're on, let's put it this way. I don't even know if I knew that about myself until a little while ago. One day, I think I was flipping around, and Virginia Tech was playing somebody, and I was like, I legitimately hope Virginia Tech wins this game. Like, I'm rooting for them.
Yeah.
And I don't really ever feel that way about other ACC teams. And if they're playing an out-of-conference game, you know, to a much lesser extent than the SEC, I'll fly the flag. Me and Swaffy, will cheer on the ACC. But, well, that's never true with Miami. I'll root for them to lose every game. But other than that, I'll root for some ACC teams. But, in terms of actively rooting for another ACC team to do well,
well, I currently
Virginia
like
Tech is,
Boston College because of Adazio.
well, we both like Adazio.
Now it's 35-3, so people go, "Oh no, you can't do that." Yeah, you can.
You can.
You
He
root
did
for us
what he
to
was
beat their
supposed to do.
ass,
No, he did what he was supposed to do. He took a dog that was on its way out back.
Yeah, I've never liked Wake. That's probably has to do with the lost decade and losing them every year.
Completely indifferent about Wake. They don't show up on my radar.
North Carolina football is okay.
I got no time for that.
Virginia Tech just is a kind of program. I typically find myself rooting for them if they're playing somebody else. Like, all right, go for it, Virginia Tech.
Go. I like their mascot.
Yeah.
I like their tradition. I mean, Inner Sandman is whatever, but I do like the hoppy hop before it all goes down.
I liked Maryland when they were in the ACC. Now, obviously, because of the Terrapin, man.
Yeah,
that mascot
looks
is
like
ridiculous.
a cockroach.
It's cool. But then, they got really uppity on the way out.
They did.
Van Pelt's kind of an ass, so I don't really like them very much.
Right.
And Gary. I didn't like Gary.
Oh, I forgot about Gary.
Gary was
sweaty.
Yeah.
Very sweaty.
Well, and then didn't they have Vasquez, too? Grievous? Wasn't he on Maryland?
But I didn't mind him. I always felt... I felt bad for him because he was on the wrong end of a bunch of racist chants.
Yeah. That's true, too.
Yeah.
You could have multiple villains in a scenario, but
Yeah.
he's still a D-bag, if I could say that.
You did.
I did, yeah. Virginia, I've always liked. I got over 95 very quickly. And you talk to Virginia grads, and a lot of them are very snooty themselves.
They are.
But it is a gorgeous place up there, and they're really of little consequence. But
blinding beauty of Charlottesville, Virginia.
Yeah.
My nephew currently goes to law school at UVA, and my sister lived in Charlottesville for years, and I, too, enjoy... Well, one of my best friends, who now lives in California, graduated from UVA. I have weird connections to UVA. Girl I dated went to UVA. So I kind of like them, too. But they do think they should be better than they've ever been. I mean, you go up there to a game, it's like... Yeah.
It's like, what? Well, I'm a Virginia grad. Oh, congratulations,
No, it's
man.
a great place to have a degree from, but whatever. No, they actually think their prowess in football is greater than it is.
Right, yeah.
That shouldn't...
But the hard part is to look at a program and say that across the board I feel this way about a program. Like, for example, Syracuse. I have no problem with Syracuse football. It was kind of cool back in the day.
It
They
was.
gave Miami some problems, and
They were a
they had a
fun little
cool
team.
mascot, and they play in
Had
this
some good
weird
players.
dome. But I hate Boeheim because, I was raised in a St. John's basketball household. So in the Big East, you hated Syracuse basketball.
I'm indifferent about Boeheim. I do like that he called out Greensboro.
I like Pitt football.
I do, too.
Yep, the uniforms are classic.
I
when
like
they
Pitt in
decided,
general. I love their... By the way, you've not been to their campus.
Correct. I have not.
You should. It's nice. You'd
Okay.
like it. It's a nice campus. I enjoyed it.
Well, maybe we'll go on an all expenses paid trip up
We'll
to
have to do it
watch
up.
some baseball and then check out the campus.
Let's do that thing. It's nice. Pittsburgh's gotten nice. The city is nice.
Yeah, I guess my answer is I don't really have a favorite other team. It goes in waves depending upon who's there in the moment.
Right, and I don't, and this is funny because we're just talking about the nature of fandom, and it is whimsical these days for me at 46. I've had stages in my life where I've hated certain regions of the country and their sports teams, and then that just waned for whatever reason. I grew up and just was like, well, that's ridiculous. You're just hating an entire region for no reason. And then later on, there were rivalries and games and players that I loathed for particular franchises in the NFL. So then, therefore, it cast a pall over the entire franchise. But then you grow up, and like that guy hadn't played since 1984. We're still doing this, Jeff. Like the 49ers. The 49ers are that team for me, by the way. For years, I hated the San Francisco 49ers with a passion. Hated them. I hated Roger Craig. I hated Jerry Rice. Hated Joe Montana. Hated him. I did like Rathman. It's hard not to like Rathman. Big-ass fullback. He was really good. I did, and I liked Ken Norton Jr. But other than that, I really just didn't like much. I hated Hanks, Merton Hanks. He had the longest neck of all time. He was ridiculous.
You could do that thing, yeah.
I hated when Dion was there. There were a lot of things I just hated about the 49ers. Namely that in impressionable years, they were always in the damn Super Bowl. And so that got annoying. And they couldn't be further away, right? I mean, a Florida kid watching this team from California always in the Super Bowl. And Joe Montana would always bring them back. They'd be getting beat. I'm talking about regular season games now. People remember Super Bowl and playoffs. Regular season games, he did the same thing. So you'd just be sitting down watching a game, and somebody would have the 49ers on the ropes. And you'd go, all right, look at that. Green Bay's going to beat the 49ers. And then this guy would score 2 touchdowns in 2.5 minutes, 80-yard drives each. And you'd go, well, this is ridiculous. Nobody can beat it. Well, so I hated him. Now, I don't really care anything about the 49ers.
Yeah, well, I actually kind of like the 49ers. Ever since Harbaugh took over, there's been a pretty good run there. Of course, I didn't like
when terrible as of late.
When they benched Alex Smith. You know, I just
devastating.
I never understood that.
Well,
and
they got to the Super Bowl because they did it.
Well, they would have gotten there anyway with flying colors. Yeah.
I don't think so.
They were failed by Ted Ginn not being able to perform in the NFC title game in a year in which Alex Smith beat Drew Brees head-to-head, had 2 game-winning comebacks. It was like James Blackman's performance against Miami. He had 2 game-winning drives
in the defense.
And the defense stopped him one time, you know, and that's why San Francisco won that football game. But I kind of like what they're doing right now. Kyle Shanahan's a bright mind. How do you not like?
They just got gifted a quarterback.
Well, yes, they did, but they didn't sign him. So, you know, now they're going to have to pay through the nose for him.
And they should, because they have a franchise quarterback.
And they've had good linebackers for the last decade. Because now Reuben Foster, throw your hat in the ring, sir. Good God.
Yeah, they got guys.
Yeah.
They've had guys, yeah.
And they went back to the old uniforms. That's what I like about them, too.
Yeah.
Remember they had like the triple layer with the faded, you know, background color?
Yeah.
That was ridiculous.
No, not good.
But now it's just a simple white and red and white with the gold pants.
The gold pants.
Yes.
I always thought it was a little much with the gold and the red when they would fade out the white and you'd have a lot of gold and a lot of red.
Yeah.
It's a little bit much. But I get what they are. They're the 49ers. I mean, I understand what they're doing.
Gold and red bothers you?
No, the way that theirs looked together, it didn't look right. Okay. I didn't like it.
Well, it's just because you're attuned to garnet and gold, and you don't usually see that brighter red. Except for
I think that's probably true.
Except for a good portion of the 90s and 2000s,
where we looked real bright,
where we had red colors.
We didn't wear like gold. I mean, I don't know. The way it looked on us was a little different. And let me say this. You know, I really wish the Bucs need to do one of 2 things. First of all, we got to get rid of the ridiculous numbers.
Mm-hmm.
I've grown to okay with the oversized logo on the helmet. I'll live with that.
If you look at the old helmet now, you're like, good Lord, that's a small flag.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. I'm okay with the oversized emblem on the helmet. But they need to either decide that, you know, the white with the red is their thing, and that's what we're doing here, because that's a good look. It's a good look. Or go back to the true pewter in red. I loved it when we would wear those. Those are beautiful uniforms. Yeah. Or let's just permanently go back to the creamsicles, embrace our past, and say that's who we are, and wear the Bucco Bruce, the whole thing.
Yeah.
All in with it. Just do it. This hodgepodge ain't getting it done.
Yeah, it is half and half.
You can't decide on what you want to be.
Well, and our freaking jerseys have like hockey shoulders, you know, because we have the pewter shoulders.
It's dumb.
Yeah.
No, pick something and let's stick with it for a while and let's move on.
What in the world? Like, I like the font is fine, the logo's fine.
I like the little tribute orange, but
yeah,
we got too many things going on.
Correct. Well, and we never wear the reds ever.
We used to.
Yeah.
When we wore the red and whites.
Yeah, those are clean.
Yeah, they look good.
Yeah,
we looked real good. You know, you could wear we never did this, but you could wear red pants with white tops. That would look good too.
You could, but the pewter helmet creates an issue.
A little bit, yeah.
Well, and that's where, with the current uniforms that we have, and of course it is a Friday uniform talk.
Yeah.
With the current uniforms we have with the pewter shoulder, then you can wear the white pants. It makes a lot more sense. You know, because if it was just a red jersey and white pants with a pewter, that would look ridiculous.
You're right. Well, we could sit down in a room and work out the many combinations.
We should be freaking consultants for this stuff.
I think so.
These things would fly off the shelves.
You know who I give the ultimate credit to for the most part in college football? Penn State. They get my love. They do.
Well, they don't try to do anything different.
I'm so proud of them. They know what the hell they are.
They wear grays every once in a while.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Get rid of that. Stop that.
Like
you wear the all whites or you wear the white with the blue, and that's it. We're done here. You don't do anything else. Leave it alone forever. It's perfect. It's perfect. Leave it be. Just like, and listen, you know I'm an OU guy, But Texas, the white on white,
Yeah.
that's what we do. That's what you do right there. That's a beautiful look.
The burnt orange home jersey's fine too with the white numbers. They don't have a third color. They're not instituting a third
okay.
color.
Burnt orange is just what it is. But white on white.
It's outstanding. That's a good color.
I don't like burnt orange. I think it's
Really?
No, not that kind. No, I think Texas can look a little putrid sometimes.
Well, when they try to break out the black stuff,
Don't do that.
That just doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. It's not who you are. No, just be what you are. Damn it.
Now, okay, since you know the history of things better than I do, given that you experienced them,
I've been around longer,
Yeah.
but it doesn't mean
right? No, it's just in generalities. You know the history of things a little bit better because you experienced them.
I was on the Titanic.
You know, wasn't there a period of time where Clemson pretty much eliminated the purple, like completely?
Yes.
I felt like this reintroduction of the purple thing happened in the last decade or so.
I'm going to tell you, I'm an outsider here. I kind of like when they have the purple.
I'm not criticizing it.
Okay,
All I'm saying is when I grew up, it was white and orange. I
that's
didn't
what
know
it
they
was.
had purple.
Right.
And
Yes,
I-
there were long stretches where you never saw the purple.
Then I saw a purple accent on the paw, and I go, what's this purple about?
Yeah, you never saw the purple for a while there.
Yeah.
But it has always been a part of who they are. It's just they went long stretches where there was no
where they
purple.
were just a two-color team.
That's right, yeah. No, yeah. I'm not – hey, I will say, and we'll move on because we have not previewed this either
Purple
the
is
NFC
regal,
or
though, man. It's
it can be.
Yeah.
We have not utilized the space for the NFC or AFC championship games or a preview of Florida State Virginia Tech because this is what men do in conversations about uniforms.
It's a Bloody Mary Friday.
We get sidetracked from uniform talk, can elicit hours of discussion. And that's fine. Now there's some people who are like, "Oh, good God, that's tough luck." But here's the thing. I hope, I would love for us to, and we won't, but it would be cool if when we go play Notre Dame, can we break out the all whites? Because the last time we were down over there and we beat them 37-0, all whites.
Well,
it's
buddy,
a beautiful thing.
It's a new dawn. It's a new day. I would think Coach Taggart would be open to, different uniform combinations. He's already said as much. Now, if they would wear the all-white top and pants, but in order to do that, you
Black
had to
helmets.
wear a white helmet with a garnet spear. Would you
don't-
do it?
I would. We don't have one, do we?
Well, we had the experimental one. Remember that was on the mannequin?
Yeah.
But let's just say
I
he
would
puts
do
in a
that.
call to Nike
I
after
would-
the spring game.
I would do that.
You would?
Oh, well, yeah.
Okay.
I think it would look sweet, don't you? Imagine a white helmet with a garnet spear.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Like, I want that shirt. That's a good-looking thing. Nike, you got me.
Well, I think if you do that,
suckered
though,
me in.
I think if you do that, and this is where, we're just alley-ooping and we're going to cram, you have to wear the white practice uniform top. It can't have the regal sleeves because now you're going minimalist for a game.
Yeah. You got to go, yeah. By the way, you and I both believe that we could just wear our practice uniforms.
Oh.
We'd be all right with that.
Yeah.
They're
good.
beautiful.
Or okay.
They're beautiful.
You could wear the white helmet, this fictional white helmet.
It doesn't exist, and people are cringing as we talk right now. Your traditionalists are like, "What are you talking about? White
We've
helmet?
already changed the
What are
uniforms.
you doing?"
Yeah. You wear this fictional white helmet with the
That we
current
just
road
created.
jersey
Yeah.
and garnet pants.
I don't know, man.
Oh, yeah.
The only white helmet I want is on the white on white on white with the garnet.
Okay.
With some garnet accents. It's just move them around.
Like a half
garnet
stripe
accents.
on the pant.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a little
Yeah.
garnet accents.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good look. We should get in there and start designing that. Have somebody design one of those.
Yeah.
That's good.
Listen, now we can be bought.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we'll champion the cause.
No, actually, they would do well to let us roll out these uniforms.
I think so. I believe that to be true. I think we would do a very good job.
True Garnet would come back.
True Garnet would be the first thing on the ledger.
We wouldn't be purple under the
I
lights.
wouldn't enter the room until you had worked out the proper garnet shade because I wouldn't want to be a part of that conversation knowing how nitpicky you are about the garnet. I would be like, when Tom and you guys come to an agreement on what garnet is, call me in and we'll have a larger discussion about how we're going to go here.
It's really easy. Take a look back at the photos of the 2012 FSU Clemson game, and EJ was always, just a spectacular model for all of our uniforms.
Right.
Look at that two-tone color of the sweat-colored garnet and the regular colored garnet. That's it. You got it. It's right there. The answer is in our past.
Good. It'll be a short conversation then, and I can be invited into the room, and now we can play with it. We can work with it.
Remember when they assured us it was the same color?
Oh, well, that was ridiculous. Rest in peace, Monk Bonasort. You tried your best on that one. I remember him trying to tell me about that. I'm like, Monk, They are not the same.
They said the Pro Combat was the same color?
That's what I'm saying. I was like, Monk, that's not the same. And you know what? I miss Monk. I'll tell you what makes me laugh about that. I had a conversation with him face-to-face. And we had railed against it on the air. And I was talking with him over at the Moore. And he goes, Jeff, I'm telling you it's the same. And I go, Monk, we've known each other a long time, man. Come on, man. Don't do that to me. He's like, Jeff, it's the same. And he looked off with a smile on his face. And not another word was spoken. And I just put my hand on his shoulder, and he smiled, and I smiled. And I was like, you son of a bitch. And I walked away. It was great.
At least
Jeff,
it wasn't.
It's the same.
Somebody saying that's not factually true,
right,
and
no.
just looking at you deadpan. And
No.
Well, I can't talk to you anymore.
Right, that's right. We can't even agree on what's a fact. Well, that would have been prophetic. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
I'm talking tough, like a state of mind. Tough, like a soldier on the front line. Tough when it gets rough, like my Ford truck. Always enough. I'm talking tough.
Franklin Spring Creek Ford, the place to find your next truck in southern Georgia.
I'm talking tough.
Hey y'all, we're Chris and Preston from Low Cash. Head to Franklin Spring Creek Ford and see them about all of your vehicle needs.
Ordering ahead on Lowe'sForPros.com and pick up your order at our Pro Desk. Learn more about what we can offer your business by stopping in and talking to one of our Pro Services specialists today.
Games for Less, the only locally owned and operated gaming store in town, has Tallahassee's largest selection of new and used video games and game systems. The future of video gaming is at Games for Less, where they have both the PS4 and Xbox One. It's time to trade in your old systems and elevate your gaming experience now. Games for Less is also your headquarters for the best in retro gaming. Atari 2600, original Nintendo, Super NES, or Sega Genesis, you name it. They got it at Games for Less. Games for Less, the Super Walmart Shopping Center on Appalachian Parkway. Give them a call today at 850-219-3535. That's Games for Less.
Hi, Chris Kraft for Kraft Nissan, introducing Nissan's Express Service.
Express Service means oil changes in 45 minutes or less.
With no appointment necessary. Here's how it works. When you come to Kraft Nissan for an oil change, you're greeted by a dedicated Express Service advisor. Sign the advisor's iPad and have a seat in our waiting room. A team of 2 lube technicians will immediately take your car directly to service and complete the oil change. And remember, Kraft Nissan services all makes and models. We sell tires for less. Compare us to the box stores and compare us to the tire stores. We'll beat their price. Plus, new tires come with free rotations for the life of the tires. We also have our Value Advantage line of parts that are priced to compete with aftermarket and parts stores, but still have full Nissan factory warranty. So competitively priced that Kraft Nissan will give you a 30-day price match guarantee in writing. And we offer the Kraft Nissan service card, same as cash for 6 months on purchases over $299.
So give us a try. Oil changes in 45 minutes or less and no appointment necessary. Just stop by.
Kraft Nissan on Mahan Drive between Academy Sports and Costco. Service card with approved credit.
Start your new year off right with all the DeWalt deals at Cornerstone Tool & Fastener. The store that brought you your build-your-own kit is taking it to the next level. Buy any, and we mean any, DeWalt Bear tool and receive a free, on-the-spot 4-amp-hour lithium battery. No mail-ins, no gimmicks, on the spot. Also, check out DeWalt's Impact Hammer Drill Kit and get a free tool promotion exclusively at Cornerstone Tool & Fastener. Cornerstone Tool & Fastener is also your home for OSHA-compliant dust solutions for all your concrete needs. 2 locations to choose from, 1110 Stuckey Avenue and 3269 Crawfordville Highway. Tallahassee location open on Saturdays, 8 a.m. to noon.
Parker Brothers Roofing says don't play games with your roof. Protect your home and your family. The Parker Brothers tell you the truth. We'll fix your roof, cause it's what we do. With quality, integrity, and pride. Parker Brothers Roofing, professional every time. Stay safe and dry inside.
Customers constantly tell us that they're getting several estimates to compare apples to apples. You ever bite into an apple and find out the inside is rotten? Cheap roofing quotes are just like that rotten apple. Quote looks shiny and delicious because it's the cheapest, right? But you wind up with that rotten apple that leaks or starts to fail immediately. All roofing quotes are not equal. Cheap estimates equal cheap materials, subpar labor, or both. For quality that lasts, call us at 656-8112.
Parker Brothers Roofing, professional every time. Stay safe and dry inside.
License number CCC 049350.
This is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio. It's Libations Friday. Brought to you by Quarter Pocket Bar and Grill. Quarter Pocket Bar and Grill on Appalachian Parkway. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Get to the AFC and NFC championship games. Florida State, again, as I said before we got sidetracked about uniform talk, which will happen. Noon, Castle Coliseum, Blacksburg, Virginia, ESPN2, channel 404, if you're wondering. And again, Noles lead the all-time series. And got a chance here. The Noles have won, by the way, the last 11 meetings at home. This is not at home. That would be great, but this one's Castle Coliseum, where we have struggled. We're 9-15 all time there, 3-5 since the Hokies joined the ACC in the fall of 2004. It's been since 2004 since Virginia Tech joined. Did you know that?
I knew it was the middle part of the last decade, but what I fail to understand is that it's 2018. I feel like we're stuck in about 2012 to 2015, somewhere in there, and it's just we're never going to get to
2018.
Right.
14 years ago.
Right, yeah. That's the hard part.
When you start talking about things being nearly 20 years old, that scares you.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
That's the marker. We're like,
yeah.
20? What in the hell happened here?
Right, that 1997, which is just for whatever reason a benchmark year for me, is 21 years ago now. It's 21 years ago.
I had long been out of college.
Yeah.
That scares me.
Right.
That doesn't make a lot of sense.
For example, now I know you lived through most of this decade, in fact, just about all of it. But for me, when I grew up, the 70s felt like this other place,
world, right?
Right? Mm-hmm. But in that time growing up, the 70s were at a shorter distance in time from where I was.
From 97.
From 97 to now.
Yeah, that is freaky.
That is.
Well,
wow.
Okay, so that's funny that you bring that up, and we're not going to get sidetracked again, but when I was growing up, and you're right, I did grow up, I was born in 1971. My first memory is being on a plane when I was very young, 3 or 4, flying from Holland, where I was born, to America. I didn't know that, but that's what I later on told my mom. I was describing the plane. It was very foggy, and I remember that. And she was like, oh, we were flying from Europe to the States. But the point is, much of the 70s I don't remember because I was so young. I'm 4 years old in 1975. I'm not remembering a lot of the 70s. The earliest memories are 78, 79, where I can definitively say I was doing this. I know this person. This team won a game that I watched. I cared about. I remember the Yankees playing the Dodgers and things like that in the World Series. So that I remember. But I'm largely a child of the 80s. And so it does freak me out constantly that we have interns or that I have a friend in Matthew. When the hell were you born, Matthew? Like 2006? When
95.
95. Like, to him, the 80s are what? The 80s?
Right.
Good
yeah.
Lord. I'm like,
yeah.
Well, man, dude, I graduated high school in the 80s.
Right. What year did you graduate high school?
89.
Right. Yeah, and I was 2.5.
Yeah. That's weird.
So we have a nice little
the only
separation
time,
here. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, very much so. It goes on down the line. That's the only time. By the way, it's funny. When we talk, normally you're kind of an old soul. You have older siblings.
Well, I'm a child of the 80s as well, even though I was born in the late 80s because, yes, of my old siblings.
Right.
So their influence was my influence.
So it's interesting that as I go across the board and look at my closest friends in the world, of which you're one, and I think, so my buddy Matt, older siblings. So he's an old soul. I find that when you're the last one born, you become instantly more mature than anybody your age.
Well, isn't Christy in that
yes,
sense,
in
too?
that same sense,
Yeah.
yes. So, like, one of the reasons we connected and one of the reasons that my buddy Matt Britton and I connected, I think, was just because he projected older than he really was and had a maturity. And you have the same thing. And it's because you had older, in your case, sisters, and he had older brothers.
Right. Yeah, I was simultaneously a child of 2 decades.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyhow, it always blows me away whenever we're having sports conversations and I bring up something from that decade and you're like, yeah, I wasn't born. It always reminds me of the of Die Hard with the two guys on the chopper. He's like, reminds me of Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy goes, doesn't it? I wasn't born yet, a-hole. He's right. So it's like every now and then I'll say something and you get that glazed look on your face and I'm like, oh, dude, you're referencing something he wasn't even alive for. He has no idea.
In that movie, when the guy drops on the cop car with Carl Winslow in the car,
Mm-hmm.
I cry laughing every time I see it. Yeah.
No, it's funny. Back it up. Yeah.
Right. And then they
Wasn't
open
he
fire.
eating a donut, literally?
Yeah.
Wasn't he?
Yeah.
They open fire
Well,
on
he's
the car.
singing, you know.
Oh, yeah. And they open fire on the car.
Oh, the weather outside, right? Yeah.
That's still a good movie. All right, so here's the deal. We have struggled there in Castle Coliseum, and it's been very frustrating. Virginia Tech last year was 22-11, 10-8 in the ACC, three-way tie for 7th, earned a 9 seed in the East Regional, the NCAA tournament, where they lost to Wisconsin in the opening round. That'll happen. You never want Wisconsin. That's so annoying, historically speaking.
Bet the under.
Yeah. So you give a lot of credit to Buzz Williams, who turned it around when they were 9-22, 2-16 in the ACC in 2014 before he got to Blacksburg, and then got them into the big dance in just 3 seasons, only the 9th tournament appearance all time for Virginia Tech. You give it up. They lost their top 2 scorers from last year, Leday and Allen, but they are good on offense. They average almost 86 points a game. They really shoot it, and it's frustrating. 52% overall, 40% from beyond the arc, 74% from the free throw line. They have a 10-man rotation. When we're right, we're them and they're us. I mean, that's I mean, that's the thing. And we don't have an advantage in depth in this case. They shoot the ball better than we do, but now they're a 4-guard lineup. And so, that's what they like. They'll go 5 guards.
Well,
I've watched them this year go 5 guards.
Well, if they want to go and run, though, that's a much better matchup for us than, getting in the half court and here comes a zone all day long and we're plodding along counting possessions.
It's very important, and I hope they want to run. Let's go. Let's get into a track meet. We got our legs. We've had 5 days off. Let's go.
My fear is that the book is out, and they're going to say, all right, we're going to open with the zone. Every opponent's going to open up with the zone and say, all right, can they shoot their way out of it, or can they handle it, period? Because I wonder if the tape is out. One would think, we make an adjustment in the second half against Syracuse, then BC's, befuddling us again into the second half. I don't know. I would think that's the book.
I will say this. I don't know, and I gave you some insight as to what they like to do, but I don't know what they are yet. And the reason I say I don't know what they are yet, they came into the season looking really, really good. You look at them in the non-conference. They have wins over Iowa, Ole Miss, Washington. They lost to Kentucky, but, hell, that happens. They looked like they were going to be very, very good in the conference, but they lost at Syracuse. And obviously, we've seen Syracuse, but they lost that. That's a weird game. They lost 68-56.
Right.
They didn't score. The zone befuddled them.
Yes.
And that was back right in the new year. 12-31. They lost. They got killed by Virginia. No shame in that, but that was in Blacksburg. They got blown out. Virginia dropped 78 on them. For Virginia.
Yeah, Virginia's actually scored over 65 points in more than just one or two ACC games this year.
I mentioned Virginia's going to win the ACC. They are. They're veteran. They're experienced. They do.
The game against North Carolina, they could have scored in the 80s if they wanted to, but they just paced themselves up to such a big lead that they decided to, slow the game down a little bit.
But as for Virginia Tech, they lost those two games, and you go, okay, well, whatever about Virginia. Virginia does that to people. The loss to Syracuse on the road is a little head-scratching, the way that it happened anyhow. And since then, they've beaten Wake and Pitt, who's not any good, and they lost to Louisville. Well, so did we. We lost to Louisville, and they give up 94 points to Louisville. It doesn't look like they defend all that well, for starters. And, we do have some extra days rest after that Monday night loss. It'll be interesting. Now, the frustration is that they did favors for Virginia Tech, too. The ACC schedule makers did. They had a bye week this week. There's no midweek game for them. So they're rested as well, and you could argue more rested. So the advantage of fresh legs is not there. It's just good to have them.
Which is
especially
nonsense.
If we're going to get into a track meet.
Well, if you're going to give us a short week, then you got to give us the advantage over the next opponent, right? Nope. Not right at all.
They did not do that. Well, let's just be honest about something. We clamor for the advantage from a scheduling standpoint in football. We more often than not get it over other programs. And in basketball, these days, I thoroughly expect to be told to grab toes. Because every time that schedule comes out, I go, really? So we're going Duke, North Carolina, Louisville. And then we're going to get this, and then we turn around and do this. Oh, I see. Like, it's rare that I ever go, my God, look at the gift they gave us this year. It doesn't happen in basketball.
Yeah, but you could grab toes and be in a happy baby yoga.
Is that an actual name?
Oh, yeah, the happy baby. Yeah, you grab the big toe, and then you just
kids are amazing. When you first have kids, by the way, and they're so malleable. They twist their legs every which way. You're like, I wish I could do that. I can't do that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
They have the best posture immediately because they haven't developed bad habits and muscle problems.
Yeah, that's the weird thing. Like, you could put them, balance them out on your arm or whatever, and they'll just stand up straight. It's
nuts.
It's really scary. I would never do it with my kid, but I've seen it.
I've done it.
Yeah.
Both my boys.
Like on the palm, and they'll just stand up straight.
Christy would get so mad.
Yeah.
I would take them, and I'd put their little feet. The fact that I could put their feet on my hand
was
amazing. But
don't get weepy.
No, I'd put their little feet on my hand, and I'd hold them up in the air above my head, and they'd just be standing up there. And Chris would be like, stop it. And then I go, I'm going to drop them. Yeah.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
I do it all the time. You will, too. You'll antagonize. So, Virginia's 6-0 in the ACC. Louisville, Duke, North Carolina, Clemson, 4-2 in the ACC. So this thing is starting to kind of shift around here, right? You've got a group of teams in Georgia Tech, Notre Dame, Boston College, NC State, Miami, Virginia Tech that are either 3-2, 3-3, 2-3. So they're all bunched up. We are on the back ass of this whole thing and can no longer afford to be. We need to move to 3-4. Would be nice. Currently 2-4, tied with Syracuse, ahead of lowly Wake, who beat Virginia Tech. And no, didn't beat Virginia Tech. That's right. Virginia Tech bounced back with a win over them. And Pitt, who's 0-6. Pitt is
we don't have two Pitt games this year, do we?
We got the one. That's it. You pencil in an extra win there. All right, just get that win there. Hour number 2, forthcoming. We'll talk football next.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
I'm talking tough, like a state of mind. Tough, like a soldier on the front line. Tough when it gets rough, like my Ford truck. Always enough, I'm talking tough.
Franklin Spring Creek Ford. the place to find your next truck in southern Georgia.
Hey y'all, we're Chris and Preston from Low Cash. Head to Franklin, Spring Creek Ford and see them about all of your vehicle needs.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Full Bar, Hobbit American Grill. 3 locations to choose from. 400 Capitol Circle Southeast, 2020 West Pensacola Street, and 5032 Capitol Circle Southwest. Visit them online at myhobbitonline.com.
Don't just listen to The Jeff Cameron Show. Watch it live. The Jeff Cameron Show Streamcast. Live weekdays 3 to 6 p.m. Head to ESPNTallahassee.com today to watch live or catch up on demand. The Jeff Cameron Show Streamcast. Brought to you by Nice Tire and Auto, your trusted Goodyear dealer. 574-4100. And presented by TNT Supercenter in Thomasville, Georgia. And Franklin Spring Creek Ford.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit beefy, or even with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Affordable term life insurance is out there. Call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-481-1458. 800-481-1458 or visit biglou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too.
Jackson Hewitt has big news. The no-fee refund advance just got bigger. Now you could get up to $3,200 today. Go to Jackson Hewitt and you could get up to $3,200 with a bigger-than-ever no-fee refund advance 0% APR loan. Don't delay. Go to Jackson Hewitt today and you could get up to $3,200. Optional tax refund loan provided by Medevac, not the actual tax refund. You can e-file without applying. Fees for other optional products may apply. Availability and loan amount subject to conditions and locations. Bigger is a comparison to the maximum loan amounts previously available for the refund advance at Jackson Hewitt. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
Sports are defined by stats and performance, but here's a performance stat that no one wants to talk about. Erectile dysfunction affects half of all men over 40. That's 50%. If you're struggling with ED and other therapies haven't worked, isn't it time to feel like yourself again? Learn about a long-lasting ED solution from Coloplast to get you back in the game. Visit Dr. DeLay at Advanced Urology Institute, located at 2000 Centerpoint Boulevard, or call their office and set up an appointment today. 833-4DRDELAY. That's 833-4, Dr. DeLay. The sooner you seek treatment, the sooner you can get back to feeling like your normal self. That's 833-4, Dr. DeLay.
I am so over this cold weather.
Me too, but just think warm thoughts like Macy's Winter Weekend Sale.
Okay, still a bit chilly.
How about this? We get an extra 20 or 15% off with our Macy's Carter Savings Pass.
Getting warmer.
Ooh, and big savings on juniors fashion, activewear, and great wear-to-work looks for the guys.
Okay, is it getting hot in here or is it just me?
Wait till you see the huge savings on clearance fine jewelry.
Ooh, I gotta take this sweater off.
Save now at Macy's Winter Weekend Sale. Savings off sale prices, exclusions apply.
This is 97.9 ESPN Radio, WTSM, Woodville, Thomasville, Tallahassee.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Kevin Winter. It was over in the blink of an eye. Patriots quarterback Tom Brady's news conference this afternoon. He walked into the news conference at Gillette Stadium wearing gloves on both hands. When asked how his hand was, Brady said, quote, "I'm not talking about it." When asked about how confident he is about playing on Sunday, Brady said, quote, "We'll see." The status of Brady's right hand has been an issue ever since he showed up on the injury report on Wednesday, then missed all of yesterday's practice. The Patriots are going to release their injury report later this afternoon for Sunday's AFC Championship game. Vegas has taken notice. The line of the last day has dropped from New England -9 down to 7.5. Meanwhile, there's the NFC title game. Vikings and the Eagles. Adam Thielen of Minnesota questionable with a lower back injury.
Mike Golick here. Coming up Monday, we react to Conference Championship Sunday and preview the Super Bowl. Plus details on how you can hang with us live from Super Week. Monday on Golick and Wingo, 6 Eastern, ESPN Radio, ESPN2.
This is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio. It's Libations Friday. Brought to you by Corner Pocket Bar and Grill. Corner Pocket Bar and Grill on Appalachie Parkway. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Number 2, Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio, and a fine Libations Friday to you and yours. Loosey-goosey edition of the program. We're online, ESPNTallahassee.com. That's where you go to listen live via the streaming free. Always don't miss anything. Sometimes you miss things. When you do, you go, man, it's a good thing that the Jeff Cameron Show does me right. I can go back and get caught up on iTunes. I can go to their website and download it. I can download the WTSM app and find it in the archive. I can do all of those things. I could go back and watch it on YouTube. It's good stuff. Currently, you can watch it on Twitter. Go to the 97.9 ESPN Twitter feed, and you'll be able to watch it there. Email the show if you like, JCS at 979ESPNradio.com. By the way, on Twitter, I'm at J Cameron Show. You can do it. Football this weekend. Hope it's good. Really want to see something that certainly locks you in for 4 quarters. You know, we were very fortunate to get what we got, and you're not going to top Minnesota in New Orleans. Although I will say that game wasn't great until the second half.
Yeah, it was a good half. It wasn't just a good finish. It was a good half.
It was a good half.
Yeah.
But yeah, that first half, you're like, ooh, this is a boat racing. But then it all turned, and I will say, I'm such a sap. Minnesota sending out the montage of all that. Yeah, it shook you up, man.
Yes.
Sports is beautiful, though, in that way. You're reminded of how beautiful sports can be. Now, the girl who said this is the greatest day of my life I wanted to slap.
Yes.
Don't do that.
100% agree on all fronts.
That makes you
here.
an idiot.
Yeah.
And really with twisted priorities. But that said,
assuming everything is well in her life, you know,
I mean, come on,
she's not on death's door or something like that.
Oh,
because if there's a backstory,
that would be one hell of a backstory.
Well,
yes.
I'm just qualifying in case that was a special video sent to the Vikings,
right?
You know.
Yeah, she's gonna die in a month. Yeah,
or she just woke up out of a 20-year coma.
Well, then that would be the best day.
She's only had,
but I mean, still,
she's only had several days in her recollection.
Most of them, I was sound asleep. I wake up and look at this. No, that part.
What happened in 1998?
This is crazy. Yeah. No, so it was absurd what she said. But aside from that guy in his apartment need a miracle with his arms up, and then watches it happen. And of course, the family's jumping around, watching in the living room together. Because and this is why you can relate to it. This is why sports is great. Some of my favorite memories are those specific moments spent with my closest friends and, of course, my family, watching a sporting event and seeing something that just blows you away. I bring it up all the time. For me, both watching NC State beat Phi Slamma Jamma in Houston, I watched that with my mom and my stepdad in the living room, can still remember it like it was yesterday. Valvano running around, watching my mom and stepdad. We were just all like, can you believe that? That was amazing. I watched Villanova, Georgetown. That was amazing with Ed Pinkney. I can still remember that. And then, the USA beating Russia, Lake Placid. I watched that. That afternoon, I had gone to play baseball with my stepbrother and my stepdad and me. And we'd been playing. It was freezing cold. And we ended up driving back, and it was, tape delayed. And I can remember him, nobody wanted to know anything about what had happened. And we sat down and watched like it was live. And I think at the time, because I was a kid, I thought it was live. So we watched that, and that actually is downright emotional. That anybody that was around for that, like people, you did cry. That was amazing because he had just been waxed 10-1.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I mean
they had beaten the assembled NHL All-Stars.
Oh, yeah. That was absurd. We had zero chance to win that game until we won that.
Well, they changed the way the sport was played.
Yeah, it was crazy.
The Soviets did.
Yeah, it was nuts. It was ballet. But so anyhow, as it turned out, we those are those moments, and there are tons of NFL moments, tons of college football moments, tons of Major League Baseball moments, NBA moments, all of that stuff. So when you watch something like that, you don't have to be a fan of that. Now, you are obviously currently in love with a girl and that is a lifelong Minnesota Vikings fan, so that's neat. That's neat to see.
It was a bizarre room and a bizarre situation because, again...
and our friend Bill at Corner Pocket.
Right, yeah.
Which, oddly, why is he a Vikings fan? He grew up in Pensacola.
I forget. Maybe, well, that's probably why. So he found a team to attach himself to.
Maybe,
and
yeah.
it was the
I'll have to
Vikings.
ask him.
I forget the answer to that because he's a Cubs fan, too. So, I don't know. It's all over the place.
Well, the Cubs fan, I get. There are a ton of Cubs fans that aren't from Chicago.
Sure.
They grew up watching them on WGN.
Yeah. It might have been the Purple People Eaters. It might be that simple.
Who knows? Yeah.
I don't know. But so I'm in that room, and they're all fatalists because of all the bad things that have happened to the Vikings.
As they should be.
Yeah, right. And so they're calling what's happening. When Keenum throws the pick, I agree with him. Well, now you're kind of screwed. And then you have, it's funny. You get convinced of something, but it also can be true, objectively speaking. Aikman was against the Vikings in his call the entire time. I think he was for a close game in the first half, so he's finding anything he
trying
can.
to find a way to keep it.
But I think he's pro superstar Hall of Fame quarterback. I think that's what that is. Because every time he could have said something was good for the Vikings, he said it was bad for the Saints. Every time he could have said something was bad for the Vikings, he said it was good for the Saints.
Well, I think he's rooting for the underdog to make that a close game, So
right.
much of the game, that's true, because I think he does a good job.
I agree by and large, but in this game, I'm going Troy. Like, even every penalty that was 50-50, I don't see it there if it could have benefited, the Saints. And
I think you nailed this. It's less about being against the Vikings and more about being pro Drew Brees.
Correct.
Yes.
So it's not a bias necessarily against Minnesota. However,
I think he's probably indifferent about that.
It presents that way because he's calling the game in a certain way, looking for fourth
Well,
quarter
if you're
intrigue.
predisposed to thinking your team's going to choke too, you'll hear everything.
Right.
So yeah.
But at the same time, they did, and I'm going, well, they do have several points here. Like, Troy's not helping the situation. He's not calming the masses. Because you know how it happens, right? You're watching a game, and people are talking, and then they'll get quiet for a second, and in that moment, like,
they'll
the broadcast,
say something. Yeah.
Right. I'm like, well, of course he said that when the whole room got quiet. And everybody goes, well, screw you, Troy.
Damn it, Troy.
Right.
Yeah.
So then they have the block in the back call, which comes from an official who is not in position to make the call.
Well, that frequently
well
is the
after
case.
the call, well after the play is over.
Sure.
And then obviously the block kick and the Keenum interception, whatever. Anyway, so they're fatalists and they're right. But then this play happens, and she gets up out of her chair as Diggs catches the ball. And I'm stunned. I go, get out of bounds. I'm yelling, get out of bounds, because you want to kick the field goal here.
Nobody there.
Well, there was nobody there, as the radio call eloquently tells you. Stay in bounds.
Stay in bounds.
Because they see that's the last line of defense.
There, yeah.
Well, she walked off into another room because she couldn't handle it. I had thought she saw him cross the plane. She did not. She saw him catch the ball and run, and she was so overwhelmed by the roller coaster of the fourth quarter that she didn't want to see a flag on the play or him get tackled at the 10-yard line and the clock run out. She literally ejected because it was too much at that point.
It was sensory overload.
Right. And everybody kind of goes nuts, and then she has to wait for people to confirm that what she just saw actually ended up in a walk-off touchdown. It was just a bizarre set of circumstances.
I'm still blown away by it.
There were
and when
no
I watched
tears,
the replay,
but there were watery eyes, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, I'm still blown away by it. And it's cool because you don't have to be a fan of either one of those teams, of which I'm not. I don't care about the Saints, and I don't care about the Vikings. I care only about the Vikings because I know a lot of people who love the Vikings, and I care about them. So, therefore, go Vikings, I guess. But to me, I mean, literally, if you just said objectively, hey, Jeff, sit down, who do you want to win this game? I say, I'm a football fan. I want this to be a great game. And I'm sure I'll be tugged one way or the other as the game goes on because rarely can you sit at it and watch. I say this all the time. You can never watch a football game and not actually root for somebody. You're going to find a way. Now, you may on a Wednesday say, I don't care. And I'm not even talking about betting interest. You might say, I literally don't care.
Yeah.
But as the game gets going, somebody gets screwed by the officials. There's a terrible call. There's a moment where a player makes an ass of himself. Somebody does cheap shot somebody.
Sure.
Something happens, and you decide, well, I'm rooting for that team.
I thought, that the Saints were going to lose, not in spectacular fashion like that. In the second half, when on 3rd and 1, they call the Willie Snead double pass. What are you
idiot?
doing?
Don't do that. That's,
The field is tilted in your favor. If you run up the middle, you will achieve at least a yard and a half with Ingram. So what are you doing calling a double pass? I don't care that those things are wide open because it's a receiver throwing a pass. I never understand that. Like, well, it was open. Well, yeah, but you're asking Willie Snead to make that throw. That's pretty difficult with NFL speed.
I'm always blown away. Now, I will tell you this. I appreciate the cojones on a coach that has a punter throw a fairly difficult pass.
Yeah.
That's where you know that they have repped the hell out of it.
Sure.
And that guy
can't do it wrong.
Yeah, that guy's straight money. That's what he does, right? I mean, that's because there is that time where you're watching a fake punt from your own 38 and you're like, what a pass from the punter. Hit him, and that's always amazing.
Right, yeah.
Like, because that
hits the up man in stride,
in stride, and you're like, that dude played high school quarterback. There's no way he did not, because that's a good throw by any measure.
If JJ was our punter, we'd be like, well, we always have the trick up our sleeve.
I don't know that he can accurately throw that pass.
Come on. Those things are typically schemed wide open.
Maybe. I'm saying.
I tried to make this a positive thing for JJ, and you said, no, sir.
I'm not so sure.
Rejected.
I'm not sure. Tom Brady's annoying. Has 7 times the amount of postseason experience as every remaining quarterback combined.
And more pliability than anybody on this earth.
Brady has as many Super Bowl wins, 5, as every other remaining quarterback has playoff starts. That's absurd.
That makes sense, though.
No, I know, but he's 35 postseason starts. 35 postseason starts. Like, this is old hat.
It's 15 years of it.
It's
going on
crazy.
20.
Bortles has 2. Foles has 2. Keenum has 1. The Patriots, while we're on the subject, why they're favorites. People keep asking why they're such big favorites. Playing in their 7th consecutive AFC Championship game. That you sometimes maybe you block it out.
Now that's absurd.
That's the longest streak of its kind since 1970. They're making their 12th AFC Championship game appearance since 2001. 12. Go to hell with that. 12. That is ridiculous. Double the next highest team in that span. You can guess who that is. The Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
6. Jaguars quarterback Blake Bortles has a .344 career regular season win percentage, and that's not a stat. And I hate that they do that. That's not a stat. A quarterback does not have a win-loss percentage. He played on teams that didn't win a lot of football games. Because let's be real fair. Blake Bortles hasn't been any good in his career. That's true. He's had pockets where you go, maybe.
Right.
Maybe serviceable.
Well, last year was like he and Brady were the only quarterbacks to have 30-plus touchdowns for a while.
Right. That's what I'm saying. There are moments where you'll look at him and you'll go, oh, he can play. He's more than serviceable. There are still other moments where you go, they're really going to have to upgrade the quarterback position if they're going to do anything in Jacksonville, right? That's how Blake Bortles gets talked about because that's his career. He's at times, he's confounding because you see parts of his game where you say he's really good. And then you see parts of his game where you go, that guy can't hit the broadside of a barn. He's wide open. You got to make that throw. And I can only imagine Jaguar fans because you want to back him. You want to back him. And he's done some good things for you. And right now, when you're on a run like this, you're really going to back him. But it bothers me. That's what you're going to continue to hear, a .344 career win percentage, which is the worst by a quarterback entering a conference championship game start in the history of the league. Mm-hmm. Nobody's been sorrier than him. But that's not true because there's no such thing as a quarterback win-loss stat. It's not true. And I know we do this. Listen, Tom Brady's great, but I'm not citing his career win percentage to tell you he's great. I'm looking at other factors. Now, his teams win a lot of games.
Sure.
And that matters, and you do get credit for being on a successful team. Sure, you're a big part of that. Some would argue the most important part of it. Probably true. And you do things to help your team win lots of games. And thus you get probably more credit maybe, as Jimbo Fisher used to say, than you deserve, just like you get more blame, and Bortles is, for the losses. But football is the ultimate team sport, and it certainly helps that Tom Brady has had Bill Belichick and a slew of really good players and a well-run organization. And it certainly hurt Blake Bortles that he hasn't had a slew of really good players around him, and they haven't always been a terribly well-run organization. So, this is
Yeah.
This is what we do, though.
I'm looking at this game, and yesterday the number that I put out there was that the Patriots' defense was 31st in the league in rushing yards per attempt, 4.7. So you're second worst in the league, giving up on average a rush on the ground. However, if you want to counter that, you could say, like you were, well, their performances were backloaded in the season. Looks like the defense got it together. And you can point to a similar situation, last week. The Titans' offensive line is not bad.
No, and they run the ball.
They
didn't do nothing.
And you can challenge the quarterback. A very similar set of circumstances. Okay, is Bortles running a 4-3? No, but he also can run the ball.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry, 12 carries, 28 yards. Good night.
Shut down. Completely
right.
shut down.
Then you look on the other sideline and you say, listen, Hogan caught a touchdown last week, but he's finally getting healthy, so he should be, targeted more this upcoming week. He had they targeted him only 4 times. And Rex Burkhead apparently is going to be active this week, and they love that little white guy in New England.
In New England, they do.
They do. Absolutely, they do. So you mix him into the fold with Dion Lewis and Bolden and White. Okay, now you have another wrinkle in the offense. I am leaning now on Friday as we're talking here. I think New England might cover. I think this is actually they're going to make Jacksonville a little bit one-dimensional here. You don't have to score, but 20, 24 points, I think, in this circumstance. I get that it went to a shootout last week, but that game was 28-7, and it got a little loose there.
Yeah, it got weird. Here's the thing. I get why they're favored. I get why people expect them to win. I get why you think the advantage lies with, the home team and the 12 straight appearances and all that stuff. I got you. Their track record suggests they're not going to do things to beat themselves. They're playing at home. They've got a Hall of Fame quarterback, Hall of Fame coach.
Who's pissed again.
They're getting healthy. They're playing better defense over the last 6 weeks than they played all year long. Everything points to them going to the Super Bowl. I'm with you. It's just that when the number first came out, we were looking at double digits. And I have enough respect for the Jags defense, their belief in themselves. I mean, I think it's important. I know it can be nebulous, but I really believe that the Jaguars believe that they're going to go win the game. It's important that you think that, because I've seen plenty of teams go play New England and kind of give off the vibe that we're just happy to be here, probably not going to win this game. I don't think the Jaguars feel that way. I believe they follow their leader, Jalen Ramsey, amongst others, that believe they're going to win that game. Now, belief can get beaten out of you pretty quick.
Sure.
And you get down in this game, and if New England makes Jacksonville one-dimensional, that's the whole game, by the way, the whole game. This is very easy. If New England stops Fournette, thanks for playing, we're going home here. There is no football game to be had. That's it. That's it.
And that's where, again, I'm looking at last week, and I say similar circumstances here. And New England's only adding weapons on offense, and you need a ton of them against this defense. But if you're talking about Gronk, obviously, all-timer, Cooks to stretch the field, Hogan, who's gotten healthy, Amendola underneath, and then Lewis and Burkhead in the backfield.
Always get healthy at the right time.
Yeah.
It drives me nuts.
They have, now who are you covering the fourth and fifth option? Because who's better in the league, really? This is where Brady, I think, separates himself. Sometimes he gets categorized as the best across the board, and that's just stupid. Rodgers is better in many ways.
Yes,
Breeze is better in some ways. Manning, at his point, was better in some places. But nobody gets through progressions quicker than Tom Brady. Watch his footwork in the pocket and watch his shoulders whip around the entire field.
He's a freak.
Look, pivot, fire. Man, and when you have 4 and 5 weapons on the field at a given time, if you can, like you said, make them one-dimensional, they're not just going to win, they're going to cover.
Love this stat, though, and we'll look at the Eagles and the Vikes in a second. But it allows me to talk about my friend, William Floyd, again. But Leonard Fournette needs just one rushing touchdown to tie the postseason record for the most rushing TDs by a rookie. And this list is amazing. Yes, Florida State's own William Floyd is on it. He had 4, and I remember that very well in 1994 with the San Francisco 49ers. Jamal Lewis, who you'll recall, has 4 in 2000 season for Baltimore. My man, Tony Dorsett. Tony D, one of my very favorite players of all time, and was a joy to watch play running back. He did it in 1977 for the Cowboys. And then Tom's favorite player, now this is, you would never have guessed this, but over the years, he's brought it up frequently, and I got to give credit where credit's due. Tom's a big Norm Stanley fan. And
always.
I have been.
Yeah.
He's got the jersey. How many people have a Norm Stanley jersey, right?
And it doesn't say Stanley on the back. It just says Norm, because that's how we had it.
You knew it. 1941 Chicago Bears. Who doesn't love Norm Stanley?
I got to call him Norman.
Good guy. Fournette has 3 currently. Needs 1 more. He'll tie the record with those other gentlemen. Does he get it? Does he get a rushing touchdown in this game? I think so.
He might in a short field turnover or something like that, you know?
All right.
I think that's where it comes from. Yeah, it's about protecting Brady and stopping Fournette. There it is. Offensive, defensive line, always.
Eagles, Saints still to be talked about. Of course, we've got basketball. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
I'm talking tough, like a state of mind. Tough like a soldier on the front line. Tough when it gets rough, like my poor truck, always enough. I'm talking tough.
Franklin Spring Creek Ford, the place to find your next truck in southern Georgia.
I'm talking tough.
Hey y'all, we're Chris and Preston from Low Cash. Head to Franklin Spring Creek Ford and see them about all of your vehicle needs.
People. There's Tallahassee's original Sunday brunch buffet. Fresh, scratch-made recipes. Dining under the new outdoor pergola. A boutique meeting space for up to 120 people downstairs. And a half-price happy hour, 4 to 8 on weekdays and all day Saturday and Sunday for fun times with family and friends. Today, Andrews is better than ever in the capital city. The story continues. Come make memories with us, downtown at Andrews. Better than ever.
Ah, the perfect lunch spot. A nearly impossible find. Thankfully for Tallahassee, we have Metro Deli. A downtown gem for over 15 years, Metro Deli is locally owned and features the best deli meats, cheeses, breads, and ingredients in the city. Enjoy daily specials and soups, salads and wraps. There's something for everyone. Metro Deli offers online ordering for pickup or delivery and will cater your office breakfast or lunch too. Tallahassee's perfect lunch spot is Metro Deli. MetroDeliTally.com. That's MetroDeliTally.com.
Hi, Chris Kraft for Kraft Nissan. You know that Kraft Nissan is the home of free lifetime warranty on all new Nissans and most pre-owned vehicles. Unlimited time and unlimited miles. Good anywhere in the U.S. or Canada. You also know that Kraft Nissan will give you purchase and lease options in writing with our easy choice menu. Not a lot of scribble with a Sharpie marker. But did you know that Kraft Nissan has a military program for active, reserve, retired military, or recent veterans? The Nissan military program gives you our best price with none of the haggling. You serve, you save with special pricing at Kraft Nissan. Kraft Nissan also has Nissan's Corporate Business Partners program. Are you an employee of a company that does business with Nissan? If so, you will save thousands with below invoice employee pricing. Just some of the hundreds of companies eligible for this program are FedEx, UPS, Allstate, State Farm, AT&T, Verizon, Wells Fargo, and Xerox. Call or stop by Kraft Nissan today to see if the company you work for qualifies. And remember, if you don't see the Kraft tag on your car, you paid too much, way too much. Kraft Nissan on Mahan Drive between Academy Sports and Costco.
You're up before dark 30. You don't ask for medals or even a pat on the back. But if all your hard work is indeed its own reward, then consider the new Ram Limited Tungsten Edition as a bonus. Natura Plus leather seating, premium projector headlamps, suede headliner, packaged in the highly capable, hard-working truck you'd expect from Ram. Keep doing what you do, but who says you can't do it in a nicer truck? The new Ram Limited Tungsten, the most luxurious Ram truck ever. Ram is a registered trademark of FCA US LLC.
The City of Tallahassee Utilities says 'tis the season to save energy and money. And that's why your own utilities says it's time to focus on those Energy Star appliances like clothes washers, dishwashers, refrigerators, and freezers, even pool pumps and water heaters. Rebates range from $40 to $300. AC and heat pump rebates go as high as $750. And when you buy Energy Star appliances, you save twice. You'll save when you get the rebate from the City of Tallahassee Utilities, and you'll save again on your utility bill, because it's a fact that Energy Star appliances use less energy than their non-Energy Star counterparts. So look for the Energy Star when you shop local for appliances this holiday season. Get all the Energy Star rebate details at talgov.com. Your own utilities. Click on products and services, and all will be revealed. 'Tis the season to save. Save energy and save money with the City of Tallahassee Utilities Energy Star rebates. You'll save with the rebate, and you save on your utility bill. Happy holidays from the City of Tallahassee Utilities. Your own utilities, and America's #1 public utility.
You're listening to The Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Games, Gronk's caught a touchdown. It's ridiculous. You can't, and everybody knows it's coming. I should also note that they sacked Mariota 8 times last week. Since week 12, New England leads the NFL in sacks. They've had over 30.
There you go. Well, remember, now, we did talk about this. I said it as related to fantasy football, because I picked up the Patriots defense around week 10, and we talked about it on the air. I said, look at their schedule.
Yeah.
They're going to be talked about in a way like they're, back, completely back.
But getting pressure on the quarterback and stopping the run, man, those are kind of hand in hand, because you're setting up 2nd and long, 3rd and long, and they're doing that, and they're doing it against a team that can run the ball.
Sure.
So
agreed.
That translates.
But when you're when you're able to key on the run too, you might just end up sacking the quarterback, because you're just selling out, which they could do again. But the one thing we know about the Patriots defense from earlier in the season, not just the Buccaneers game, but some of the other breakdowns they had, if Bortles can actually hit a deep throw or two, they're going to be there. There will be some breakdowns in the secondary. I do believe that, especially
he hit one against Pittsburgh big time.
Well, and given how talented that receiving core is, that's the other damning thing about Jacksonville. You're like, well, we've got Lee, who's really good, and Hearns and Cole is pretty damn good too, and we got some reserves. That
Jacksonville's good,
right?
The problem with Jacksonville is they're going to be smart, and they're probably going to do something to bring in a quarterback.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll rely on the up and down nature of Bortles. Maybe they will, but if they do, that's a problem.
Oh, if they bring in a Cousins or something like
that's
that,
a problem.
Then they're a prohibitive favorite.
Yeah,
especially in that division. We'll see about the balance of power in the AFC, but they're one of the favorites, and that's where if they lose tomorrow or Sunday, I should say, well, you could pin it on Bortles and say, well, this is a good season. It's a sign of things to come. It's still a successful year for them.
Very.
Yeah.
No. This is a very successful season. Nobody had the Jacksonville Jaguars penciled into the AFC Championship game.
And they could win it. I'm not trying to say that they can't. They could, but Bortles will have to make a couple of plays down the field to stretch it out a little bit.
This is one last nugget on New England. It is remarkable what we're watching. They can become the first team to appear in 10 Super Bowls. And this is that thing about my lifetime we were talking about earlier. New England was the laughingstock of football. When I grew up, the New England Patriots were a joke. When they made it to the Super Bowl and played the Bears, the famed 85 Bears, and got beat like a drum, I can still remember thinking it was a really cool and cute and interesting thing that the New England Patriots, out of nowhere, had become a team that could go to the Super Bowl. I remember thinking, how about the Patriots making the Super Bowl? That's because the Patriots were a joke. You just didn't think about them in any other way except for they were one of the laughingstocks of the league. And now, in this same lifetime, in the second half of my life, they are one of the greatest franchises the league has ever known and are on the cusp of surpassing those other franchises that are in that category. Now, because those franchises, like Green Bay, made a name for themselves, it's the Lombardi Trophy, made a name for themselves in the earliest era of the NFL, as a franchise, who has more cachet, more lure? That's the Green Bay Packers. They've been around longer, they won earlier, and you would think of them in higher regard. But they aren't more accomplished than the New England Patriots.
Yeah.
The Pittsburgh Steelers, the Dallas Cowboys, all franchises that hold more cachet over the New England Patriots. But soon the Patriots are double middle fingering every one of those franchises in terms of actual accomplishment.
Right. Well, and the people who believe what you believe will die off in 30 years, and people will talk about the Patriots in the way you're talking about those franchises.
That's correct.
That's the way this works.
That is the way it works. And so, yeah, I'll be that old man on the Patriots.
Right. Yeah.
I remember.
See, to me, I grew up at the tail end of the Cowboys 49ers wars. Right.
Right.
And the Cowboys dominating, and
so you saw the Cowboys win 3 Super Bowls in 4 years or 5 years, and so you thought,
I don't remember the front end of the Bills Super Bowls, but I certainly do remember their Super Bowl wins, especially the
Cowboys Super Bowl wins over the Bills.
Cowboys, yeah. I remember like the last one, and then
they had the ugly win over the Steelers.
The Steelers,
Neil
O'Donnell.
Yeah.
I remember that game. I know where I was for that game.
It was in Pasadena.
Was it really?
Yeah.
And then obviously I remember the 49ers title over the Chargers. That's the first Super Bowl that I can remember.
Ugly ass beat down
that's
was.
William Floyd, right?
Yeah.
That was, but I remember the Patriots being good, like early in my life. It was a novelty for a little while, but then Bledsoe
because
every
Bledsoe
year was considered to be
Parcells with Bledsoe,
Correct.
and they went and lost to Green Bay.
Correct.
Yeah.
But then they would start, the next year they started 5-0, 6-0, whatever
you knew
it was.
they were pretty good, yeah.
Then they were kind of good, but not really.
By the way, go back and look at some of Bledsoe's stats. Bledsoe was good.
Oh, he was
a really good player.
Absolutely.
It's kind of tragic. I mean, I hope he doesn't sit around thinking about this.
Yeah.
I mean, Brady's birthed because Bledsoe almost dies.
Yes.
So, literally. So, if Bledsoe doesn't get blown up on the sidelines of a playoff game, Brady is delayed at the very least. Instead, it becomes Brady, and then the legend is born, and they begin to win. But Brady's first Super Bowl victory is not Brady. It's their defense that wins the game. Bledsoe would have won that Super Bowl too. I wonder if that guy ever sits around thinking, I would have won that Super Bowl. I was better than Tom Brady at that time, which he was. And we had a great defense. We would have won that Super Bowl either way. And then who knows how history works? I mean, does Bledsoe retire a 4-time champion? I mean, who knows?
I mean, buddy, the Tuck rule changes everything.
Of course it does.
It changes everything.
Sure. Because obviously Gruden wins at Oakland at that point, probably wins the Super Bowl, stays.
Yeah.
They would have gotten back again the next year, probably, because they did end up
Well,
going.
they did without him.
Yeah, they did without him, and they certainly would.
They might win back-to-back.
Yeah, and we don't get the Super Bowl in Tampa Bay, probably.
Probably not.
Probably not. And then, then we're still pissed off and all of it.
Right. No, I'm thankful for the Tuck rule.
Gruden, yeah.
I am thankful for the Tuck rule.
And it's complete and utter nonsense.
Yes.
I mean, they absolutely screwed the Raiders. It's probably the biggest screw job in the history of the NFL.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm a Raiders fan, you probably can't find another game where somebody in a pivotal moment like that got more screwed on an obscure, silly rule than the Oakland Raiders.
Yeah. No, I mean, the Bert Emanuel thing, hurt
Not as bad. Not as bad. It hurt, but that was sort of a murky area within the rule. This was ridiculous. How is that even a rule?
You know the funny thing though is I can hear myself becoming my dad when I talk to a young kid or perhaps my own children about Drew Bledsoe was a bad man. Now, before Brady, there was Bledsoe. And they're like, shut up about Bledsoe. Nobody cares about Bledsoe. Now, that guy was a bad man. And who cares? History doesn't have him in the book.
Yeah, it's funny. It's a shame for him. I hope he doesn't sit around thinking about it.
Dad, you're right. Look at that. Bledsoe was pretty good. No, he wasn't just pretty good.
I liked that in his interviews post-football career, of which he doesn't do many. I think he did one on Le Batard that was interesting. But if I remember correctly, he is an incredibly well-adjusted guy who's got a ton of money and makes wine.
Oh, he was on Cowherd a lot to talk about his wine.
Yeah.
That's where he had a regular spot.
Yeah. But I like him. I think I like him. I think he's aloof and arrogant, and I think I like him.
Precisely. I think those are two apt describers.
But I think we'd like him. I think if we were golfing with him, I think we'd like him.
Probably.
He'd be really good, too, and it would piss you off.
He would be really good.
He'd be really good. I guarantee he'd be really good.
That's a left to righter from 8 feet. Good luck with that one. Like, he's that guy.
Yeah.
Don't miss that one.
He would also hit 330 down the middle, and you'd be like, gee, is there anything you don't do well?
Right.
You're a jerk.
Well, win Super Bowls by yourself.
By the way, so real quick, I want to get this out there, and then we do have to talk about Vikings-Eagles because that could be really good Sunday evening. 21-4 all time at home in the playoffs are the Patriots. 18-3 under Belichick with Brady.
2 losses are to the Ravens.
Baltimore Ravens.
And then they lost to the Jets also.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
But that you can name the times tells you how good they are, right?
That one Baltimore one that took a beat down.
Well, they should have lost to Baltimore 3 times.
3 times. My man can't make a catch.
Evans.
7-4 in the AFC Championship game with Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, 5-1 at home. They won 7 straight home playoff games. Last loss was 2012 to the Ravens. Won 17 straight home games versus AFC South opponents by an average of 24 points. The AFC South has been told to limber up whenever they've taken on the New England Patriots.
Even when the Colts visited Gillette, like with Peyton.
Well, no,
they did it with luck too.
Yeah,
they beat them when they came all the way back when they were at home to play the Patriots. But you talked about sometimes teams feel like, I'm just glad to be here. Even though the Colts had Peyton Manning, if they traveled up to the Northeast, I felt like, well, this game's already over before it begins.
Yeah,
and yet they have one of the great quarterbacks of all time.
It's annoying. I do sometimes wonder, though, man. I never played in a game like that. Ever. And I don't mean like an AFC Championship game, obviously. I mean temperature-wise. Never played. The coldest weather I ever played in was low 20s. And I'm thinking, I just sometimes, it's not going to be that cold in the Northeast this weekend, relatively speaking.
Right, yeah. For Philadelphia, which is the nightcap, it's going to be around 40 degrees.
They're probably going to be wearing T-shirts.
And it'll be dark for 2 hours and still around 40 degrees.
Around
That's
40
nuts.
Degrees. It's crazy, right? But some of these games, when I see folks come out and it's 13, it's 7. Man, football, first of all, if you're catching a football, a hard-thrown football, in sub 50-degree weather, you're like, damn. You catch it, you go, it stings your hands. Helmets, they hit, when you get hit on the elbow or in the thigh, wherever, your fingers, just normal, 80-degree weather. It hurts, but, it's football. If it's sub 40, it really hurts. You have to, with 10-degree weather. I don't know how people do it. I was just like, damn it, man.
I remember, Ernie Sims telling the story. He played at Soldier Field. Yeah, and it was 10 degrees.
10 degrees, yeah.
And he said that he had icicles from the snot. And the spit on his face mask. Good Lord.
Yeah, I love that Ernie was willing to just openly admit he hated it. But he did it, but he hated it. Well, you got no choice. I get it. And we're all amazing when we have no choice. This is the much greater discussion, by the way, which we've had about the greatest generation and everything else.
Well, sure. But also, if you had, the skill to allow you to earn hundreds of thousands of dollars to play, per game. In a game in 5-degree temperature, I'll bet you're going to do it. I'll bet you're strong enough to do it in that moment.
You're going to do it. For lots of reasons, some of them monetary, but just still the discomfort. It's unbelievable, man. Whenever I watch it, I go, ooh, that looks like it would really hurt.
Well, and I didn't know this. I've heard it a few times in broadcasts, be it radio or TV in the last few weeks. You see guys without sleeves in certain situations when it's really cold. They put Vaseline on their skin, and that gives them an extra layer.
Yeah.
Well, that's not the same thing as playing.
But it still doesn't. Come on. It's minimal the amount of help that provides.
And is that actually legal?
Yes. I think so.
A little slippery,
And I think it dries quickly.
Or freezes.
It freezes, yeah. 10th meeting between 13-win teams in postseason history outside of the Super Bowl. That's what you're going to get with Vikes Eagles next. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
I'm talking tough, like a state of mind. Tough, like a soldier on the front line. Tough when it gets rough, like my Ford truck. Always enough. I'm talking tough.
Franklin Spring Creek Ford, the place to find your next truck in southern Georgia.
I'm talking tough.
Hey y'all, we're Chris and Preston from Low Cash. Head to Franklin, Spring Creek Ford and see them about all of your vehicle needs.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
For 4100 and presented by TNT Supercenter in Thomasville, Georgia, and Franklin Spring Creek Ford.
Are you ready to experience an awesome fishing expedition? Sea Quarters Marina is home to several great charter services. All charters are customized based upon the types of fishing opportunities available and the type of fishing the customer requests. The Northwest Gulf Coast offers a variety of different angling adventures thanks to unspoiled back county islands and crystal clear flats. For more information regarding charters, call Sea Quarters Marina at 697-8400 or online at seaquartersmarina.com.
Tallahassee loves the corner pocket as much as a crystal ball winning catch.
He's looking, he wants it to the end zone. It's Benjamin! Touchdown! With 13 seconds left.
The 97.9 ESPN radio special is a must-have every Monday and Wednesday at the corner pocket. 10 mouth-watering wings, a fresh side of fries, and a chilled domestic pint of beer are just $9.79 all day long. Be sure and try the fish blend of sauces, a true wing eater's favorite. The Corner Pocket Bar and Grill.
He's gone!
Home of Trivia Tuesday, Beer Bingo Thursday, and the daily $7.99 lunch special.
Don't just listen to The Jeff Cameron Show. Watch it live. The Jeff Cameron Show Streamcast. Live weekdays 3 to 6 p.m. Head to ESPNTallahassee.com today to watch live or catch up on demand. The Jeff Cameron Show Streamcast. Brought to you by Nice Tire and Auto, your trusted Goodyear dealer. 574-4100. And presented by TNT Supercenter in Thomasville, Georgia. And Franklin Spring Creek Ford.
Enjoy Bud Light with your friends in the Pit of Misery. Enter to win 4 tickets to a FSU basketball game for you and your friends. Enjoy complimentary Bud Lights and cheer on the Seminoles from the Pit of Misery. Visit Facebook.com/Tri-Eagle Sales to enter to win. The winner will receive 4 tickets to a FSU basketball game, complimentary Bud Lights, and a Dilly Dilly prize pack. 3 winners will be chosen. Who would you take to the Pit of Misery? Dilly Dilly! Must be 21 or older. Please drink responsibly.
Want better gas mileage and a longer-lasting engine? Change your oil every 3 months or 3,000 miles, whichever comes first. You know that sticker on your windshield? Don't look at it now. Wait until the next red light. Okay, check the number on your sticker. Then check your odometer. Is it time? There are 19 Tallahassee area Super Lube locations, which means there's one close to you right now. No appointments, and you're in and out in no time. You can do this today. Super Lube, for better gas mileage and a longer-lasting engine.
How I love to Super Lube my car. Yes, sir.
Sports are defined by stats and performance, but here's a performance stat that no one wants to talk about. Erectile dysfunction affects half of all men over 40. That's 50%. If you're struggling with ED and other therapies haven't worked, isn't it time to feel like yourself again? Learn about a long-lasting ED solution from Coloplast to get you back in the game. Visit Dr. DeLay at Advanced Urology Institute, located at 2000 Centerpoint Boulevard, or call their office and set up an appointment today. 833-4DRDELAY. That's 833, the number 4, Dr. DeLay. The sooner you seek treatment, the sooner you can get back to feeling like your normal self. That's 833, the number 4, Dr. DeLay.
This is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio. It's Libations Friday. Brought to you by Corner Pocket Bar and Grill. Corner Pocket Bar and Grill on Appalachia Parkway. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
ESPN Radio. Song never gets old, man. Good on you, Pete Townsend. Hey, real quick, I'd forgotten to do this last segment, so let's do it right now. We can't forget about our friends. That's right. It's Beer 30. Cue it up.
Count 'em up, pour 'em out.
I'll just have a cup of coffee.
There it is. It's Beer 30, brought to you by the 7th Hill Tap Room on Appalachia Parkway.
Love the 7th Hill Tap Room on Appalachia Parkway, just below the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill. Specials this weekend are always good. There's happy hour, half off stuff, and all the good stuff. The Cup Club time.
Yeah, they usually have a specialty tapping on Saturdays. You can check out their Facebook page for the specialty tapping of the week. But the specials are as such. If you get the 7th Hill Cup Club Cup, then you get $1 off all drafts all day long tomorrow. So you want to watch the Knowles game at noon, get away for a couple hours, there you go. Get the cup. Get the cup. It's only $10 and it gets you $1 off all drafts. I wish that they continued that ad this year, the ACC.
I remember when the Curtis Blow song came out.
Yeah. It's just that's
a great,
it on
a tape.
It's a great montage song.
It is.
It's perfect.
I listened to it on a cassette tape.
And then on Sundays at the 7th Hill Tap Room, you have half off all drafts all day long for championship football. What kind of special is that? They're just giving it away.
Yay! No, that is good. And we love our friends at the 7th Hill Tap Room. Go check them out. Do it up. Again, I mentioned these two teams. They're kind of, oddly, maybe in this region, an afterthought. We're spending so much time on New England and Jacksonville, but the Vikings and the Eagles are 3-0 against the Vikings all time in the postseason. This will be the first time the two teams have met in the conference championship round, though. The Eagles beat the Vikings in the postseason prior to each of their Super Bowl appearances. Not a lot of people remember that, by the way. The Vikings lost to the Eagles, I remember, 31-16, Tom, in 1980. And I remember it. Dick Vermeil.
Dick Vermeil
was the head coach of the Eagles. That's right.
And they had that Mark Wahlberg movie, right?
That's right. Yeah. No, Dick Vermeil was the head coach. I remember that. They went on to play the Raiders in the Super Bowl. The Raiders won that Super Bowl. The Eagles did not.
Well, I knew that part.
Yes. And, yeah. And do you remember 2004? This I had forgotten. They beat the Vikings 27-14.
Yeah, Randy Moss walked off the field. Is that right?
Was that the game?
I think that was the game.
That might be the game. I thought Randy walked off the field against Washington.
He might have. I could have that wrong.
Randy frequently.
But I remember juxtaposing Randy walking off the field and quitting, and then T.O. playing in the Super Bowl with a broken foot
leg.
or a broken leg, whatever it was, and going for over 100 yards, which is one of the transcendent performances in Super Bowl history that never gets talked about because they didn't win.
They didn't win the damn game. Quarterback threw up on himself, and that was that. 26-14, they beat the Vikings in the wild card game in 2008. It's funny. Listen, fans of those teams remember those games, but I really don't have any recollection of 26-14 in 2008. And it's not that long. It's 10 years ago. It's weird to say that's 10 years ago, but I don't have any recollection of that game. Like, I can't remember a thing. Matthew, you remember anything about that game? Were you like 5 years old?
Was Brian Westbrook on that team?
Yeah,
he was.
He
okay,
was.
Well, there we go. One player.
Well,
I'm sure McNabb was on that team.
Yeah,
one of McNabb's last years.
Oh, all right, there it is. All right.
Get him a microphone.
Yeah, we do need to get him a microphone. He can add to it. I'd like that. Neither the Vikings or Eagles have ever won a Super Bowl. Of course, I should point that out. Neither have. Matthew's favorite team has not ever won a Super Bowl, and unfortunately for our Vikings friends, their team too has never won a Super Bowl. They've been there 4 times.
That is true.
Never won one.
All a long time ago.
Well, right. And, it's crazy to think about, though. I mean, when you have that many chances and haven't come up with a win, people who weren't even born to watch Fran Tarkenton running around crazy and lose Super Bowls must be angry about it, even though they weren't around. And I remember Fran Tarkenton. So that's got to freak you out.
That is a little what
You're
is
like,
this?
come on.
Yeah.
Fran Tarkenton's like 87 years old. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but I'm going to tell somebody at some point, I remember Steve Young, and they're going to go, Steve Young?
Yeah.
Steve, the guy on ESPN that they still have extended all these years?
Do you ever bring up Steve DeBerg?
No.
You remember Steve DeBerg?
Barely.
You don't remember him with the Bucks?
No.
Oh.
No, Dilfer is the first guy I can really recall.
Steve
Maybe Testaverde a little bit, but not really.
I always thought Steve DeBerg should have written a really crappy but very popular 80s song. Like, he should have been a hit-making machine at some point.
I remember Gruber, Dilfer, Eric Rett.
Gruber should be in the Hall of Fame.
Donnie Abraham.
I'm not kidding about the Gruber comment. He should be in the Hall of Fame. Is he in the Hall of Fame?
He's in the Bucks Ring of Honor.
Paul Gruber ought to be in the Hall of Fame.
He might be. I could go check.
Can you double check real quick? So it should be pointed out, as I said, 0-6 combined. These two franchises have never won a Super Bowl. Most conference championship games since the merger with no Super Bowl wins. The Vikings, 9. The Eagles, just beneath him, 7.
No, it appears he's not a Hall of Famer.
That's ridiculous. And the Bills, 5. Philadelphia, an underdog. Second straight week, it will be at home as an underdog. They're wearing their stupid masks. Philadelphia is 4-0 since 1966 as a home underdog in the playoffs. So there you go.
Well, it makes sense. They're going to set records and talk about, well, the number 1 seed's never been. Well, they don't have their quarterback. So this is all quite logical. I don't like when broadcasts make a big deal of that.
I do think something that isn't talked about but fascinating. Well, it's a little cool nugget. Case Keenum, Nick Foles, starting quarterbacks for the 2015 Rams.
That's right, Jeff Fisher.
So cool. That is cool.
That photo's hilarious too. Where the two of them are hugging, and I forget which one is facing the actual camera. It says, "It's over now. He can't hurt us anymore."
That is funny.
Yeah.
They had traded Sam Bradford to the Eagles prior to the season. This will be just the 5th time in the last 30 years that former teammate quarterbacks meet in the playoffs. The home team won the previous 4 instances.
Yeah, I feel like the blueprint here, if the Eagles win, is by the second quarter you're going to think to yourself, "Oh my God, the Vikings can't get anything going here. Like they can't move the football at all." That's how it happens. I don't think this is going to be a game that's in the mid to upper 20s or lower 30s where you say, "Wow, we're just going back and forth here, blow for blow."
I should make note of something that only interests me. And again, we're being a little nostalgic. I always get that way in the NFL playoffs, AFC, NFC championship games, all those things. Do you remember Mike Tomczak?
I do remember Mike Tomczak. Now, he played for the Steelers for a little while.
He did. In the 96 wildcard game against Indianapolis, and Jim Harbaugh was the starting quarterback, and that game was a war.
Yeah, there was it came down to a Hail Mary.
And it was almost caught.
Yeah. I remember that. I could remember seeing Harbaugh gear up for the throw.
And he got it there, and it's almost caught to win the game.
It's going left to right on the TV screen.
It's correct.
I don't know why that game is indelibly etched in my memory.
Because it turned out to be a great game, and the guy's laying on the ground, and it lands right next to him. I mean, he almost catches it off of a tip, I think it is, and it almost happened that the Colts steal that game. But I had forgotten that Mike freaking Tomczak's sorry ass was the starting quarterback for the Steelers. By the way, in 95, former teammates played each other. These are, by the way, that was the reason I brought that up.
Silent C in his name?
Yes. Yeah, okay. CZ.
Yep. Yeah, there it is.
So the other thing, when we talk about teammates going against one another, Hasselbeck and Favre did it twice, 03 and 07. Keenum and Foles are going to do it this weekend. Harbaugh and Tomczak did it. And you know who the other was? This is crazy. Rodney freaking Pete with the Eagles. Rodney freaking Pete in 95 against Troy Aikman. That's crazy.
That is weird.
Rodney Pete.
I remember Randall Cunningham when I was growing up. Like in his prime, Randall Cunningham.
Well, you should. I remember everything about Randall Cunningham. Yeah,
he's a good player.
You can remember he was a good player. You remember the famous play on Monday night where he gets his legs knocked out, keeps his hand up, and then fires a dart in the corner of the end zone?
No.
That's like the biggest play. We'll pull that up during the break.
Oh, that's cool. I can't wait to watch this.
It's an incredible play. It'll be the first highlight that comes up when you type it in. We'll do it in just a minute.
I'll do it general, and we'll see what comes up.
It has to be. It's an unbelievable play. Yeah, we'll do it. Final hour, forthcoming. Stay with.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
I'm talking tough, like a state of mind. Tough, like a soldier on the front line. Tough when it gets rough, like my Ford truck. Always enough. I'm talking tough.
Franklin Spring Creek Ford, the place to find your next truck in southern Georgia.
I'm talking tough.
Hey y'all, we're Chris and Preston from Low Cash. Head to Franklin Spring Creek Ford and see them about all of your vehicle needs.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Salads and wraps. There's something for everyone. Metro Deli offers online ordering for pickup or delivery and will cater your office breakfast or lunch too. Tallahassee's perfect lunch spot is Metro Deli. MetroDeliTally.com. That's MetroDeliTally.com.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a SelectQuote agent with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a $300,000 group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and can't take it with him. Well, I shopped the many highly rated term life insurance companies we represent and found Ray, who is 41 and takes medication to control his cholesterol, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $27 a month. That's almost twice the coverage for less than half of what he had paid. If SelectQuote hasn't shopped for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For a free quote, call 800-601-6992. That's 800-601-6992. 800-601-6992. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Or price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
The City of Tallahassee Utilities says 'tis the season to save energy and money. And that's why your own utilities says it's time to focus on those Energy Star appliances like clothes washers, dishwashers, refrigerators, and freezers, even pool pumps and water heaters. Rebates range from $40 to $300. AC and heat pump rebates go as high as $750. And when you buy Energy Star appliances, you save twice. You'll save when you get the rebate from the City of Tallahassee Utilities, and you'll save again on your utility bill, because it's a fact that Energy Star appliances use less energy than their non-Energy Star counterparts. So look for the Energy Star when you shop local for appliances this holiday season. Get all the Energy Star rebate details at talgov.com. Your own utilities. Click on products and services, and all will be revealed. 'Tis the season to save. Save energy and save money with the City of Tallahassee Utilities Energy Star rebates. You'll save with the rebate, and you save on your utility bill. Happy holidays from the City of Tallahassee Utilities. Your own utilities, and America's #1 public utility.
I give to you easy laundry service from my friends at Wash Around the Clock. Oh, buddy, this is a game changer. If you're like me, your life is hectic. Between work, school, your kids' sporting events and activities, well, it leaves you precious little time to kick back and take a load off. About the last thing you want to do is hours of laundry, but there it sits, staring at you, taunting. No more. That's right. More watching, less washing. Save hours of valuable time when you sign up not doing laundry with easy laundry service from Wash Around the Clock. Whether it's dry cleaning or just plain laundry, Wash Around the Clock's easy laundry service will pick up and deliver at your home or office. So sign up for free today at easylaundry.net, or you can give them a call, 850-597-9007. Again, sign up today at easylaundry.net. Oh, and by the way, I got you. Use promo code JCS20 and save 20%. That's promo code JCS20. You're saving 20% on your first order. That's easylaundry.net from Wash Around the Clock.
Hear that squeaking noise? Annoying, isn't it? If your wiper blades sound like this, they probably aren't wiping well either. It's time to change your blades. Rain-X can help. Our wiper blades love windshields, so much so, they hug the glass with a flexible curve design that provides superior visibility and a clean, quiet wipe. So lose the streaks and squeaks and pick up a pair of Rain-X wiper blades today. Find Rain-X Latitude Water Repellency 2-in-1 wiper blades at Advance Auto Parts. Rain-X, outsmart the elements.
This is 97.9 ESPN Radio, WTSM, Woodville, Thomasville, Tallahassee.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Kevin Winter. It was over in the blink of an eye. Patriots quarterback Tom Brady's news conference this afternoon. He walked into the news conference at Gillette Stadium wearing gloves on both hands. When asked how his hand was, Brady said, quote, "I'm not talking about it." When asked about how confident he is about playing on Sunday, Brady said, quote, "We'll see." The status of Brady's right hand has been an issue ever since he showed up on the injury report on Wednesday, then missed all of yesterday's practice. The Patriots are going to release their injury report later this afternoon for Sunday's AFC Championship game. Vegas has taken notice. The line of the last day has dropped from New England -9 down to 7.5. Meanwhile, there's the NFC title game. Vikings and the Eagles. Adam Thielen of Minnesota, questionable with a lower back injury.
Mike Golick here. Coming up Monday, we react to Conference Championship Sunday and preview the Super Bowl. Plus details on how you can hang with us live from Super Week. Monday on Golick and Wingo, 6 Eastern, ESPN Radio, ESPN2.
This is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio. It's Libations Friday. Brought to you by Corner Pocket Bar and Grill. Corner Pocket Bar and Grill on Appalachia Parkway. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Final hour of the Jeff Cameron Show, at least 4 today. This week, I should say. Libations Friday, loosey-goosey edition of the Jeff Cameron Show. I'm Jeff, that's Tom. We're online, ESPNTallahassee.com. That's where you go to listen live via the streaming free. Always don't miss anything. Sometimes you miss things, and we got you covered all 3 hours. Going to be posted both to iTunes and our own audio vault. Go back, catch up at your leisure. You can also utilize the WTSM app if you need to. Find old shows there, segments, all that good stuff, free for your mobile devices. Email the show if you want. It's JCS at 979ESPNradio.com. We're on YouTube. Hello, YouTubers. Good to see you. We're on Twitter. If you go to the 97.9 ESPN Tallahassee Twitter feed and follow that, you'll see us periscoping there. And, yeah. All right. So we got basketball and we got football this weekend. That's a good thing.
It is a nice thing. It feels like it's been about eons, and we'd like a win, wouldn't we? Just please.
Yeah, I mean, look, we began the show, and I kind of laid out a scenario that I think bothered folks a little bit because it's not a foregone conclusion that we lose on the road tomorrow, Castle Coliseum, Blacksburg, Virginia, where we take on the Hokies at noon.
Please.
But, and we've struggled at that locale. Let's put it that way.
Find it in your hearts.
We have struggled to find wins in Blacksburg, and I get it, man. It can happen. By the way, the Virginia Tech Cavaliers annoyingly found their way into a really good season thanks to Buzz Williams a year ago and how they went from being bottom feeders to a 22-win team and a winning record in the conference, end up being a 9 seed in the tournament. Now they lost, but they got there, and you knew they were going to be formidable moving forward. And he's done a good job in just 3 seasons. And this year they've been a pretty good basketball team. It's kind of hard to figure out exactly who they are, though, and they got a beat down at the hands of Virginia. And that's no big deal because Virginia, I think I said before, is going to win the conference. They're good. They also lost to Syracuse. So you say, okay, well, that's good. Now, they have bounced back with wins against Pitt and Wake, but neither of those teams are any good at all. And that's seldom that you can label people in this conference with that, but that's true. They get out and score. They average over 85 points a game. They play small, primarily a 4-guard lineup. They've occasionally gone 5 guards. They've struggled some to defend, but they really shoot it. In fact, if you look at them, it's kind of crazy. 52% from the floor overall. That's good. 40% from beyond the arc. They make their free throws, 75% thereabouts on the free throw line. So they can score. They do shoot it. It'll be paramount for Florida State that you defend, man. And I hope that the rest truly gets Florida State's legs back. Part of the problem with this game, just to reiterate something I brought up in the first hour, ordinarily you'd have an advantage here when you look at the way the schedule lays out. Ordinarily, when you get 5 days off, when you go through your tough stretch and play the turnaround that we did, where the Saturday game and then a Monday night game, and it sucks that it was a double overtime Saturday game. But usually it works out in the schedule to where then you get the respite, and you're going to take advantage of somebody else having played on a Wednesday and then play on a Saturday. Well, that didn't happen because the Hokies had for whatever reason, a bye week in the middle of the season here. They didn't play their midweek game. They didn't have to. There wasn't one scheduled, so they're more rested technically than Florida State. Both teams should feel good.
Yeah, I think, okay, if you can get a win and everything plays up to, at least from Virginia Tech's standpoint, if it plays up to what their stats say they are, then this is a great opportunity to get right defensively and then also get out and score and get confidence back. So if you could go up there and get this win, and it's by the book, the way the book says this game is going to go, that means that we played better on defense and that we've also been able to score. And then the thing that worries me here is that you have another slow start, and confidence-wise, we're in a bad place because we've been chasing a lot, an awful lot, really, in these last couple of weeks. And even when we're up big in Louisville in the second half of that devastating loss, you felt like we were going to be chasing. Like you just knew at some point they were going to take the lead. Even though the scoreboard didn't say it felt like the Cardinals had the lead. And that just puts so much stress on a team. And you could see it on Monday night. They're tired and they start slow, and BC hits everything, especially, 4 of their first 8, 5 of their first 9 threes, whatever it is.
Annoyingly.
And you can see that look wash over our faces. Like, who are we turning to? Who is going to be the guy? It's really important that we get out to a good start and see the ball go through the basket. It has to break. You have to get out of the slump in the worst way.
If we're not going to defend, and we haven't, and I'll touch on this in a second, and you're going to try to win a shootout on the road, obviously, we got to see the shooting touch come back. Got to get back to making shots. That's been a problem for us lately. We've obviously given you those numbers that have been so ugly. But it will be difficult to do that, I think. Think about this. We're bringing in the ACC, in terms of points per game, the ACC's worst defense. I don't think I would have been able to tell you that or would have predicted that could happen with the way we were playing defense earlier in the year.
Yeah.
84 points per game, and you're going against a high-scoring opponent. So you get nervous about this. And let me, again, bring up something that I brought up once before in the show. I really can see a scenario. I'm not predicting us to lose. I've had a hard time getting my arms around this game. But I can see a scenario where here I've talked about the next 3 games going to be your season. That if you want to mash the red panic button and talk about the plane crashing into the side of the mountain, this could be the game that sends people reeling, because I could see a scenario where your legs are back and you're shooting well and you're scoring. You're not defending. Annoyingly, here we are, both teams in the high 80s late, and you lose out. You lose the game by a bucket or 2. Something happens, and you've started a losing streak. People panic, and that will not be a good feeling coming home to face Georgia Tech in Miami. It also won't be the end of the season. And I'm not trying to mentally prepare you, but I am just giving you my thoughts on a scenario here. I said the next 3 games are everything, and that Florida State must win 2 of the next 3 games if they're going to still have a shot to make the NCAA tournament. I think this league is that deep that you can finish 8-10 in the conference and still be a tournament team. It would be hard to leave them out. And I'll tell you one of the reasons why is you'd have some quality wins and your RPI would be high. This is a league that features the number 1 RPI team, the number 2 RPI team, the number 4 RPI team, the number 6 RPI team. That's what this league is. And then a smattering of 24, 40, 13, 15. I mean, sweet Jesus.
Sure.
It's a league where everybody is really good, not named Wake and Pitt. So you're going to get the benefit of the doubt, and you got to put yourself in a position to piss off the country, which is to say, when Selection Sunday rolls around, and they go, well, why the hell are there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 ACC teams making the tournament, right? Or 10 ACC, you know what I mean? You want to be one of the reasons that they're talking negatively about the ACC. Well, how did 8 and 10 Florida State or not? You know what I mean? That's what but because your RPI and your quality wins are going to be there if you get to that point. If you get to 8 wins, 9 wins in this conference, you have reached that point.
It feels like a big uphill climb to get to that number right now. But
right now it does.
But the guy I think that can help us back is C.J. Walker. And perhaps he's coming out of a slump. And I hope he is, especially if you're looking at how many guards, Virginia Tech likes to rotate and what they like to put out on the court. It would be huge if he could give us consistency. You look at the box score and you say, all right, 7-13 against Boston College. What are you talking about? A fair amount of second-half baskets as we're trying to climb back into the game. He's got to be a reason that we're ahead, not somebody who can carry us when we're behind.
Got to find some confidence, man. These guys have got to find the confidence that they had that they were playing with much earlier in the season. Look, they're 13-5. They're 2-4. They're not 1-5. They're not 0-6. They're a 2-4 team that let the second half of a game get away from them against a really good team. You know, Louisville just beat Notre Dame on the road. Louisville's 4-1 in the conference in second place in the ACC. I remember coming into work the next day and people in the email inbox and all over Twitter talking about what a terrible loss it was that Florida State just suffered from Louisville. And I said, well, wait a minute, be careful how you categorize these things. Is it a terrible loss because you lost to Louisville? No. God, no. In fact, you could argue, based on recruiting rankings over the last several years, you ought not beat Louisville, hardly ever, period. So don't give me that. If you're going to argue that you blew a huge lead at home in the second half, okay, bad loss.
Terrible.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Yeah, in that case, fine, that's bad. But it's not bad to lose to 14-4, 15 in the RPI, 3 straight games they've won in the ACC, including road game against Notre Dame, 4-1 second place Louisville. It's not. It's just the way it happened is bad. So I say that to say this. Blowing that second half lead turns out to be really damaging because now you're in a place where the margin for error is very small. And that's why we're sitting here wringing hands. Because if you were 3-3 right now going to Virginia Tech, you'd say to yourself, well, you know, they could win that game, but if they don't, they'll be 3-4 with 2 home games. They'll be coming back to face Georgia Tech and Miami, and they win those 2 games, they'll be 5-4, and we'll be all right. Instead, because of that blown lead, that if you lose this game now, you're 2-5, and you are straight up, by any definition, up against it with no margin for error. You must win the next 2 games just to have an outside shot of making the NCAA tournament, right? And so that's what happens when you blow leads at home, double-digit leads at home, against Louisville or anybody for that matter. And that's why we're in this predicament.
I think we're going up and getting a win tomorrow.
It's starting to hit you,
as you're talking and as I'm playing it out and I'm looking again, Angola's been relatively consistent. You can count on him.
He's the guy that can actually be a star.
But CJ's coming out of it, I think. He was 2 of 15 in that 3-game stretch where you're talking about Louisville and Syracuse. Yes, absolutely. But then he's 7 of 13, and you look at what he's done at the free throw line. I think he's got 2 misses in his last 11, 12 attempts, and he's getting to the line with consistency.
Ball go into the basket.
Yes, it's so important. That's all. That's really
very important.
That's a lot of the equation. You're seeing it go through the hoop, and you need a secondary option. I don't know how much we can count on MJ Walker. And that's unfortunate because I was hoping that he'd be a spot-up shooter and give us a different element. Maybe he comes out of it and his, freshman slump is early in the season and we have somebody down the stretch here. The thing about him that's frustrating is there were points in the earlier portion of the season and in non-conference play where he's making great effort plays on the defensive end, chasing down a fast break and blocking a shot or just getting up the court and playing both sides. But you can tell it's getting to him right now. And hopefully, even for him, if he makes a couple of shots and he just shakes it off and says, all right, I can play at this level. I know I can, and I've seen I can. Maybe you can get something like that again. But he was a 2-way player. It looked like he was going to develop into somebody that you could rotate without hesitation. And now it's just you're looking at Angola and Walker and saying, can you be the guys? Because Kofor, I don't know what he is. I just plainly do not know what he is. Kumaje, I don't know how we're going to integrate him to the offense.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
This is an opponent that runs a lot of guards out there. Okay, guards. Angola, Forrest, when you drive to the basket, that's what you do. CJ, can you actually make an outside shot once in a while? Because we could use the 3-ball back in our arsenal, not just Angola. These are the things that I think we might get a positive answer for tomorrow. Maybe it's just hope, blind hope talking.
Well, let me tell you something. If it happens, and it wouldn't be stunning for the Noles to win that game on the road, if they do, and I'm kind of still can't get a feel. We've done almost 3 hours of radio today. Still can't get a feel for that game. Can see it several different ways. One gets us boat raced by 10, 90 to 80 or something like that. Another one has us losing in heartbreaking fashion. Another one has us winning because we are able to defend better than they are. We do have some height that they don't have, and the next thing you know, it's a comfortable win. So it's weird scenarios that I see kind of jumping around my brain here. But really quick, if you win that game, how quickly it all turns, man, because you're coming home for 2. You got to play. I mean, Georgia Tech could beat you if you don't play well.
Yeah, but you're the attacker, the aggressor again.
Yeah, you suddenly have confidence, and I think we're better than Georgia Tech. And then you got Miami at home, and that's a revenge game. You know, that's a rivalry game, and good teams take care of business at home in that situation.
You win this one tomorrow, and then you're in a position to, if you do what you're supposed to do on Wednesday, now you're at 500 in the conference with a chance to boost your resume. Not salvage your resume, but boost your resume, put you above 500 in conference with a win over Miami, and now you pair that with North Carolina in the ACC, then you win over Florida in non-conference play, and you say, okay, look at this resume, and now this is a resume worthy of the tournament. We are not on the bubble. We are comfortably inside the bubble. And we'd have to do work to fall outside of the bubble, which I'm sure we would, even if we were at 5-4 in conference.
AFC, NFC championship game talk momentarily. In fact, before we do this, Matthew, go ahead. You're allowed to stand up and get over here on the mic. It's okay. I want you to come over here and use this microphone. I'm going to ask you a question real quick. Folks, if you don't know, he's a diehard Philadelphia fan. And you save it. We'll do it. Save it. I'll bring you in. We'll bring you in next. Yeah, it was getting awkward. He didn't want. I could see.
Well, there's also the camera shot to worry about too. He's always being a director over here.
I love that about him. Maybe I'll just ask him during the break and then incorporate
a shot for the next one. I'll make it work. Get out of my chair.
We need another mic. We got to get our guy in. You get another mic in.
Yeah.
Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Blountstown Highway, 574-4100.
I'm talking tough, like a state of mind. Tough, like a soldier on the front line. Tough when it gets rough, like my poor truck, always enough. I'm talking tough.
Franklin Spring Creek Ford, the place to find your next truck in southern Georgia.
I'm talking tough.
Hey y'all, we're Chris and Preston from Low Cash. Head to Franklin Spring Creek Ford and see them about all of your vehicle needs.
Approved credit.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. Buick GMC Cadillac is back at it, supporting the High School Scholar Athlete of the Month on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Listen every Wednesday to hear our monthly winners. Check them out at Dale Earnhardt Jr. Buick GMCCadillac.com.
Games for Less, the only locally owned and operated gaming store in town, has Tallahassee's largest selection of new and used video games and game systems. The future of video gaming is at Games for Less, where they have both the PS4 and Xbox One. It's time to trade in your old systems and elevate your gaming experience now. Games for Less is also your headquarters for the best in retro gaming. It's Atari 2600, original Nintendo, Super NES, or Sega Genesis, you name it. They got it at Games for Less. Games for Less, the Super Walmart Shopping Center on Appalachian Parkway. Give them a call today at 850-219-3535. That's Games for Less.
Are you ready to experience an awesome fishing expedition? Sea Quarters Marina is home to several great charter services. All charters are customized based upon the types of fishing opportunities available and the type of fishing the customer requests. The Northwest Gulf Coast offers a variety of different angling adventures thanks to unspoiled back county islands and crystal clear flats. For more information regarding charters, call Sea Quarters Marina at 697-8400 or online at seaquartersmarina.com.
This is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
And a fine libations Friday to you and yours. The forgotten team in these playoffs, the Philadelphia Eagles. I feel like once Carson Wentz went down, everybody went, well, that's that.
They're still here.
They are. They'll be playing a football game for the right to get to the Super Bowl. In fact, I was going to ask Matthew a trivia question. Really, I'm going to ask a couple of different things here, but this first one is for you, Matthew. If you can fit into the shot, young Matthew, our director here and really helping hand extraordinaire, does a lot of things around these parts. And I'm curious, as an Eagles fan, I was reading something this morning, and it said that if the Eagles were to make the Super Bowl, and then they listed all of these similarities to the other two times that the Eagles have been to the Super Bowl, and they were saying that there are things that match from those times. Can you name any of the things that are the same as the last two times that the Eagles have made the Super Bowl in terms of if they make it this year, if you win this weekend and make it, what things are the same as they were the other two times that the Eagles went to the Super Bowl?
The only thing I know right offhand is they beat the Falcons and the Vikings in 2004 to get to the Super Bowl.
Okay. So you have beat the Vikings in the playoffs as checked on this list. That is accurate. Give me another one.
I don't know.
Both seasons, you started 10-1, and you either matched or surpassed a franchise record for victories in the same season, each of those first two times. That's good. You got one. All right, Tom, for you.
I would have thought it had something to do with defensive efficiency or something, because that's a good defense.
It's also true. Finished top 10 in total offense and defense both other times.
There you go.
But the offense was good too.
All right.
So there's that, but you did do that. You would have matched or surpassed franchise record in wins each of the last two times. As I said, they were 10-1 both seasons. Minimum.
And the Vikings were top 10 in offense and defense.
That's what this matchup's about. It's really cool. But to get to the Super Bowl, they will have beaten the Vikings again. So every time that they went to the Super Bowl, meaning the Eagles, they will have beaten the Vikings.
I can hear the Vikings from now on Sunday. Like, oh, God, here we go again.
By the way, another stat, this is interesting, and let's see if you can name this. And this is just fun for anybody. And you might be able to, maybe not the teams from the 70s, but from there on, you might be able to. If the Eagles reach the Super Bowl, they'll open as an underdog. It would open as an underdog for the third straight game, according to Westgate. Westgate's saying no matter what, if the Eagles make the Super Bowl, whether they're playing Jacksonville or New England, they will be an underdog.
Now, that's interesting, whether it is Jacksonville or New England.
Doesn't matter. Westgate says no matter what, the Eagles will be an underdog.
Vegas would jump on Jacksonville if it went into Pittsburgh and into New England.
You kind of have to at that point.
So that
would
makes
be
sense.
Yeah. And by the way, if they do that, they're winning the Super Bowl. They're going to win the Super Bowl.
Well, that was my girlfriend said go Jacksonville this week. I said, are you sure?
No.
Are you sure? Because if they do those two things,
they're winning the Super Bowl. No, and let me tell you something. It's crazy because if you're a Jacksonville fan listening to this, and I know you can't say this, and you'll be nervous, and I would be too, because I remember when the Bucs beat the Eagles on the road in Philadelphia to get to the Super Bowl to play the Raiders, that there was the logical part of me said, we're winning the Super Bowl if we beat the Eagles. I knew going into Philadelphia, into the Vet, where we never won, and it was freezing cold, and all those statistics against the Bucs. I remember thinking and telling friends, fellow Bucs fans, kind of quietly as if nobody could hear, guys, let's just say it right now. If we beat Philadelphia, we're going to win the GD Super Bowl.
Right.
And then everybody be like, well, probably, but let's not say.
Sure.
But then as the buildup happened to the Super Bowl, I got nervous all over again because you never want to think you're that close to actually realizing what you're dreaming of having happen.
Well, I'm sure the Rams thought that way when the Patriots won their first Super Bowl. If we win this game, the NFC Championship.
Yeah.
We're playing Brady.
But, even still, yeah.
They were prohibitive Super Bowl favorites.
They were, but okay, so back to this.
Sorry.
If the Jacksonville Jaguars are to go to Pittsburgh and New England and win on the road against Hall of Fame quarterbacks, both of them, really, you'd almost make Jacksonville like a 20-point favorite. And that sounds absurd because that feeling of destiny where you'd go, even though, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, but if the Vikings win on the last-second play again, then you got destiny versus destiny.
Well, wait a minute now. That's what's different here. Only if the Eagles make it to the Super Bowl is Westgate saying if the Eagles go to the Super Bowl, no matter who they're playing, they're an underdog. The Vikings would probably be favored over – would the Vikings be favored over Jacksonville?
I think so.
I think so, too.
Style points would matter, too, right? If they beat Philly by 10 – because that Saints team was good that they just beat. That was, before 17-0 in the first half, before that game ever kicked off.
No, that's
we
a
thought
good team.
That might have been the de facto NFC Championship game.
I thought it was a great game, yeah. So if Philadelphia reaches the Super Bowl, they'll be an underdog, according to Westgate, no matter what. Only 5 teams have ever reached the Super Bowl, having been an underdog in every postseason game they played, which they've been. They've been an underdog every week.
Oh.
So only 5 teams have reached the Super Bowl, and I have the results for those games, having been an underdog in every game they played in the postseason. Can you name one?
So they played 2 or 3 games, depending upon wild card.
That's right. Can you name one?
Maybe the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2005?
No.
Okay. The Green Bay Packers when they did it a handful of years ago?
No.
Okay. The San Diego Chargers when they did it in 1994?
Nope.
The New England Patriots in 2001?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
They were a favorite in one of those games?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. The Titans in 99?
No. You're forgetting one, and you're going to kick yourself. You ready? Arizona in 2008.
Oh, that was a good team, though.
They were an underdog. Yeah, they were an underdog.
Really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought that.
And they should have won the Super Bowl, but they didn't.
Yeah,
they did. All right. Another one was right there, too. 07 Giants.
Oh, duh. That one hurts. The Arizona one doesn't hurt. The Giants one does.
The 07 Giants.
The 9-7 Giants.
And they won it.
Yeah.
New England.
No, I'm mad now.
You had New England right, but the wrong year. 1985, the team I brought up having made the Super Bowl.
Right. I shouldn't have specified. I should have said New England and stopped there.
Well, in 85, we thought it was cute that the Patriots made the Super Bowl because it was stunning.
What the hell game was New England favored in when they won their first Super Bowl?
It
wasn't the Raiders game, was it? I mean, I know they're at home, but
they were. They were.
It was Brady. It wasn't Bledsoe.
Their defense was
awesome. They played
awesome.
the Steelers on the road that year.
Their defense was fantastic.
Yeah, it was.
And that's why they ended up winning the game to begin with.
Yeah.
Oakland in 1980 wins the Super Bowl over the Eagles. And I remember that team and Tom Flores. And anyhow, Oakland wins the Super Bowl, and they were an underdog in their playoff games. And then previous to that, the Dallas Cowboys in 1975 did it.
So I had a reasonable shot at 2 of them, and I whiffed.
Reasonable shot at 2, outside chance at 1. But yes, the 08-07 teams I thought you'd get.
Man, you never know these things. Like there are some I think I have no chance, then I get 60%. This one I would have told you, I'm going to get this right, and nope. Not a prayer.
By the way, one other side note while we're having fun with postseason stats, the Vikings led the NFL in total defense this year. The Eagles are 0-3 in postseason play against any team that led the league in total defense. No shame in that. Most teams lose games to teams who play great defense.
The 0-2 Buccaneers?
The 0-2 Buccaneers.
Yeah.
Throw that out there for you, Matthew. 11. 27-10. And the beauty of, was it Brian Kelly or was it running behind Rondé with the
There's the dagger! There's the dagger!
Jeff Cameron Show 97.9 ESPN Radio.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
I'm talking tough, like a state of mind. Tough, like a soldier on the front line. Tough when it gets rough, like my Ford truck, always enough. I'm talking tough.
Franklin Spring Creek Ford, the place to find your next truck in southern Georgia.
I'm talking tough.
Hey y'all, we're Chris and Preston from Low Cash. Head to Franklin Spring Creek Ford and see them about all of your vehicle needs.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
And you're in and out in no time. You could do this today. Super Lube, for better gas mileage and a longer lasting engine.
How I love to Super Lube my car. Yes, sir.
The perfect lunch spot. A nearly impossible find. Thankfully for Tallahassee, we have Metro Deli. A downtown gem for over 15 years, Metro Deli is locally owned and features the best deli meats, cheeses, breads, and ingredients in the city. Enjoy daily specials and soups, salads and wraps. There's something for everyone. Metro Deli offers online ordering for pickup or delivery and will cater your office breakfast or lunch too. Tallahassee's perfect lunch spot is Metro Deli. MetroDeliTally.com. That's MetroDeliTally.com.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. Buick GMC Cadillac is back at it, supporting the High School Scholar Athlete of the Month on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Listen every Wednesday to hear our monthly winners. Check them out at Dale Earnhardt Jr. Buick GMC Cadillac.com.
Sports are defined by stats and performance, but here's a performance stat that no one wants to talk about. Erectile dysfunction affects half of all men over 40. That's 50%. If you're struggling with ED and other therapies haven't worked, isn't it time to feel like yourself again? Learn about a long-lasting ED solution from Coloplast to get you back in the game. Visit Dr. DeLay at Advanced Urology Institute, located at 2000 Centerpoint Boulevard, or call their office and set up an appointment today. 833-4DRDELAY. That's 833, the number 4, Dr. DeLay. The sooner you seek treatment, the sooner you can get back to feeling like your normal self. That's 833, the number 4, Dr. DeLay.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Kevin Winter. It was over in the blink of an eye. Patriots quarterback Tom Brady's news conference this afternoon. He walked into the news conference at Gillette Stadium wearing gloves on both hands. When asked how his hand was, Brady said, quote, "I'm not talking about it." When asked about how confident he is about playing on Sunday, Brady said, quote, "We'll see." The status of Brady's right hand has been an issue ever since he showed up on the injury report on Wednesday, then missed all of yesterday's practice. The Patriots are going to release their injury report later this afternoon for Sunday's AFC Championship game. Vegas has taken notice. The line of the last day has dropped from New England -9 down to 7.5. Meanwhile, there's the NFC title game. Vikings and the Eagles. Adam Thielen of Minnesota, questionable with a lower back injury.
Mike Golick here. Coming up Monday, we react to Conference Championship Sunday and preview the Super Bowl. Plus details on how you can hang with us live from Super Week. Monday on Golick and Wingo, 6 Eastern, ESPN Radio, ESPN2.
This is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio. It's Libations Friday. Brought to you by Corner Pocket Bar and Grill. Corner Pocket Bar and Grill on Appalachian Parkway. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Cool documentary currently on HBO, I think. Might be Showtime. One of the premium channels. David Bowie, The Final 5 Years. It's good.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's good. Bryce has already watched it like 3 times.
Really?
Christy DVR'd it for him. And he was like, yes.
It doesn't have a lot of adult themes to it?
A little bit, but not a ton, obviously, but it's mostly him making albums. But,
Yeah.
And, no, it's cool. He loves that stuff, so. And he loves Bowie.
Man, you know what I found? We were just, the other night, this is probably 2 or 3 nights ago, sitting down, having dinner, and trying to put something on that's you don't have to really pay attention to.
Mm-hmm.
So the great thing is, whatever the channel is, they have all the Austin City Limits on.
Awesome, yeah.
It's like MTV Music or whatever.
411.
Yeah, exactly right. They had the Wilco performance from 2012.
I remember it.
When The Whole Love is just coming out.
Mm-hmm.
They are still
on their
very
game.
much, yes,
on
their
their
game.
There, yeah.
Yeah.
That's really good.
They may have been coasting a little bit these last few years, but they still have some great songs to perform. But in that moment, you could see the height of creativity. And
and they hold each other to a high standard. There's a lot going on there. You can see them looking at each other guitar-wise and all that.
Yeah, Tweety looks just absolutely...
like the worst person.
Yes.
Talented as
I was looking for a word that was clean and also appropriate.
But talented as all hell, and there's no denying it, and so you have to deal with it,
Right. Yeah. But he never acknowledges Nels in that way. He knows he's going to take care of his business.
You can't, because Nels could tell him to go.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But he'll go look at the drummer or the rhythm guitar or the kid with the 60s bob who's doing, he's on the synthesizer.
He'll talk to all of them, right?
Yeah, and he'll look at them. Yeah.
But not Nels.
But you can see it in his eyes, too. He just looks like an absolutely annoying,
miserable guy.
Miserable person, yes.
He might be.
I'm glad he's channeled it for all of us.
Well, and, he and Jay Farr had the falling out with Uncle Tupelo, and I'm a Jay Farr guy. But they both seem really kind of moody. So, I mean, that was destined to happen. But they made great music, so that's all that matters. All right.
I know when I walk in the room, that kind of thing. You're like, oh, so you're that guy. Okay.
He may not be. He
may just present as awkward.
Well, I think he gets locked into that headspace, man. It's like York with Radiohead. I think when they're in that place, it's...
Well, yeah, exactly. And I talked with one guy when I was out in Austin last year, and he worked on a Wilco video.
You also ran into the guy here at Fermentation Lounge after we saw Wilco play at Cascades
the
Park.
bassist rhythm guitar guy, the drummer.
And they were cool?
And the kid with the bob who's working. Yeah, those three were out. I was hoping that,
I'm really jealous to this day that happened.
No, it was very cool. They were very nice. They let me buy them a beer, and I tried not to...
them for their performance.
Yeah, I tried not to bother them too much.
No, but you get that. You want to say, thank you, I appreciate the art.
Yeah, exactly.
And they let you do it, which is good.
The guy out in Austin said, he worked on a music video.
He said probably impossible.
Jeff was a little
much.
I
don't think that's uncommon in Genius, right? With people in that profession in general.
Just like with a stranger, it like if you're a little much, but we're in the flow of the show, we work together. I get it. Right. But if there was a strain, like if an intern comes in and you have this pompous, air about you, and you're like, this is not correct. I'm like, oh, for the love of God, they don't know.
For the record, you don't have to do that. That's a good thing.
They don't know any better. What are you doing?
Yeah, stop yelling.
I'm making them better.
Now that's funny. More watching, less washing. We should do that because there's a lot to watch. Yay, TV.
Jeff, what's your plan with all of this laundry?
Not my job.
Excuse me, get off the couch already.
Wash around the clock's got it. More watching, less washing.
Ooh. Best husband ever.
So in truth, I actually, these days, watch very little television. I don't say that to be elitist. It's just the programming on television is terrible, so you pretty much watch live sports. And we do a sports show, so it works out perfect.
Yeah, sure does.
All right. And my friends at Wash Around the Clock, whom you used this morning.
I did.
I got clothes returned to me from earlier in the week, and you had clothes picked up to be done over the weekend.
That's right.
And that is the beauty of all this time saving. Whether it's watching TV, listening to albums, going around on a long walk with your loved ones, whatever it is, you've got extra time to do the things you want to do because you're not standing around doing laundry, drying laundry, folding laundry, putting laundry away, all the things that take up the time when you're doing the laundry. Because the act of doing laundry in and of itself is not that bad. I don't mind doing laundry. I mind all the time it takes to do laundry. And this, you cut it out. It's over with right then and there. You go to wash around the clock, go to TallahasseeLaundry.com to find out what I'm talking about, and click on the little easy laundry thing. Pick up and deliver. It's at your home or your office. Very convenient. Time saving. Time is money. I use it. They're a local company. They started here, right here in Tallahassee, and they've built up to where really I think this business is well, A, worth me endorsing, and B, worth your time to check out because they do such a fantastic job and they do save us time.
We're at the beck and call of so many things that beep or vibe or ring or whatever it is, and the most annoying one to me is the washing machine. Well, that one? Well, yes, it does do that. It's a bit of a buzzer. See, mine beeps. It's just a regular beep, beep. But there's a time, element there.
It's holding you.
Well, and you have to transfer from washer to dryer because you can't let it get all moldy and disgusting.
You ever do that? You forget it, and you look in there the next morning and you go, oh, man, I got to redo these.
And it has that smell, and you're like,
damn it, man, I'm an idiot.
Yeah. Oh, it's starting to turn like it's food or something. or
how long have
milk.
Those been in there?
Yeah, right.
Did I do that on Wednesday?
Yeah. Oh, in college, yeah. Oh, I lost some good stuff, man.
Like that thing's a goner.
Yeah.
I can't save it.
Yeah. Well, that's, one thing I'll tell my kids as they're off to college, I'll say, don't do late night laundry. You'll forget about it.
Well, for a lot of reasons.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Don't do late night laundry.
Yeah.
That's just not smart.
Anyhow, go to TallahasseeLaundry.com and more watching, less washing, thanks to our friends. Wash around the clock. Easy laundry. Good stuff. All right, what am I going to be watching? Well, we've been talking about it all day. It's starting tomorrow at noon. Well, basketball. Well, Florida State on the road against Virginia Tech. Nervous, but I'll obviously be locked in. From there, we've got the NFL playoff games. So, this is a good weekend. It's a weekend where it's spaced out enough where you can go do other things. You're not, there aren't. Yeah. There's not a whole slate of college football games or a whole, and I know we lament that, but you also like the freedom that comes with that season ending to a certain degree. And this is one of those in-betweens where it's perfect. Tomorrow at noon, so you got a lazy morning. You got some, for me, it'll be baseball for Bryce, doing some things there, and then we'll come home. We'll watch that basketball game, relax a little bit, and then later on we'll get set for whatever we're going to do. But you're not beholden to anything specific. Sunday games they're both Sunday. So Saturday, the rest of your day, you're good.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Tomorrow night, I really don't have anything on the docket. I have my list and stuff. I don't know. I love
that you have lists.
I don't know what I'm going to be watching.
Sometimes it's good not to have a list.
Yeah.
That's a freedom there. You could watch whatever the hell you want.
That's true.
You could play Halo.
I have not in weeks.
Well, you could tomorrow. Tomorrow night. Why not? You could.
I've been playing a fair amount as I can get moments of the Star Wars game you got me for my birthday. That's a fun game.
It is a fun game. My kids play that game. They enjoy it.
Of the two championship games, which one do you care to watch more? Because you don't always care about most points necessarily. You're not looking for an offensive slugfest.
I like them both, but probably Minnesota, Philadelphia I care more about.
See, and again, locally here, I think this area obviously is much more locked into Jacksonville, but also for the New England element, too. There's a fair amount of Northeast.
Well, there are bandwagon fans everywhere. That's true. One thing I'll tell you is that I'm excited by Jacksonville, and I'll tell you something, Jacksonville fans. Here's my mea culpa to you. Here you go. Here's the olive branch. I'm actually legitimately happy for you. I am. You've built it up the right way. You've made good decisions in the draft. You've got a good owner who cares about the community. And you know what? It's fun watching Telvin. It's fun watching Jalen. I mean, I love teams that are built around defense. You made the right draft choice in Leonard Fournette. I was saying I thought they should go that route, and they did. It presents an identity, and I'm happy for Jags fans.
Well, and I don't know how much, people around the program, I want to say, the franchise probably have a better idea. But it seems like Coughlin has a reasonable amount of influence, and it also fits his style, defense and being able to run the football, physicality. So, it's nice that they have an identity from the top down. They've got a good owner. But what was funny to me is last year, you look at the moves they made in the draft, and you think, well, how can this not work? Because we've seen all of these guys in college, be it at Florida State or other places, and you go, Well, they have to be a good defense, and yet it didn't happen for them last year.
Well, it was weird to me. You had enough people thinking that, so it didn't happen for them last year. Yeah. I thought you were getting at the Fournette and everything else.
No. But then you look at this year, Fournette's a nice piece, there's no doubt, but I think Calais Campbell was the big addition.
Well, obviously, the Bucs could have had him too.
Yeah. But that shows you how much of a difference he can make on a really good defense. He puts them over the top because they have Malik Jackson and they have
they have good players.
Players at every single level of the defense.
Well,
but
they got players, yeah.
A pass rusher goes for 12, 13 sacks in a year and changes everything about what you are defensively.
It's annoying because it's not in Tampa, but I do salute you for making the right decisions and becoming the franchise you are right now and the team you are right now. I rather enjoy watching Jacksonville football. They think they're funny. I think they legitimately make me laugh, and I don't mean that as isn't that cute? I mean, that's brash, young football players who are not afraid. Crack me up.
I think that's the fun thing about the first game on Sunday, because, again, it's AFC first, then NFC
Don't
is the
let
nightcap.
them pick off Brady early and turn that into a quick score or something.
Well, there's a lot of angry people on the field.
Yeah.
Tom Brady is currently one of the angriest people in football,
Always.
and he's found a new reason to be angry.
If you could somehow make Phillip Rivers a part of this game, it would be really ideal. Man.
Can it be on the sidelines?
Like one half he's on this sideline and the other half he's on the other sideline.
I got to tell you guys.
I would love it. Imagine him as a dad. I bet he's the opposite. He's got 30 kids. He's probably the kindest, most relaxed, calm individual, and then he lets it out on the football field.
Probably, but I am certain, and I don't know
that they
this,
do what
but
they're told.
Certain. Yeah, and then he has a dry sense of humor about him.
Oh, without question.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I like everything about Phillip Rivers. I really do. I think he's probably ridiculous, and I love him. He's just ridiculous. We'll wrap it up momentarily. Stay with.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
I'm talking tough, like a state of mind. Tough like a soldier on the front line. Tough when it gets rough, like my Ford truck. Always enough. I'm talking tough.
Franklin Spring Creek Ford, the place to find your next truck in southern Georgia.
I'm talking tough.
Hey y'all, we're Chris and Preston from Low Cash. Head to Franklin Spring Creek Ford and see them about all of your vehicle needs.
Games for Less, the only locally owned and operated gaming store in town, has Tallahassee's largest selection of new and used video games and game systems. The future of video gaming is at Games for Less, where they have both the PS4 and Xbox One. It's time to trade in your old systems and elevate your gaming experience now. Games for Less is also your headquarters for the best in retro gaming. It's Atari 2600, original Nintendo, Super NES, or Sega Genesis, you name it. They got it at Games for Less. Games for Less, the Super Walmart Shopping Center on Appalachia Parkway. Give them a call today at 850-219-3535. That's Games for Less.
Hiring is important. People are what make your business work. But how do you find the right talent? ZipRecruiter makes it simple. One click sends your job ad to over 100 of the web's leading job boards. But ZipRecruiter doesn't stop there. Their smart matching technology will instantly alert quality candidates about your job. That means you'll start getting great candidates with the right experience almost as soon as your job is posted. No wonder 80% of employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site in just one day. The right candidates are out there. This is how you find them. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
People from businesses of all sizes trust ZipRecruiter for their hiring needs. We're so confident ZipRecruiter will get you better results than anywhere else. We'll let you try it free. That's right, free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/build. That's ZipRecruiter.com/build. ZipRecruiter.com/build.
Are you ready to experience an awesome fishing expedition? Sea Quarters Marina is home to several great charter services. All charters are customized based upon the types of fishing opportunities available and the type of fishing the customer requests. The Northwest Gulf Coast offers a variety of different angling adventures thanks to unspoiled back county islands and crystal clear flats. For more information regarding charters, call Sea Quarters Marina at 697-8400 or online at seaquartersmarina.com.
You're locked in with the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
You know what's great? When you discover something that you had no idea about that was a happy accident, that for no reason makes you smile, doesn't really matter much. Apparently, I won in one of my leagues. I just saw this on the side of my computer screen. I was looking for something else in football related. Apparently, I won my final fantasy football game in this one league where the league was over, but you have a consolation game for standing purposes and all of that. Well, a lot of us, once you're eliminated from the playoffs and you're out of the money, you just don't even think about it. So I didn't think about it, and I didn't set my roster. But the final game you play, the score is up on the side over here, and I won by 1 point over somebody. So it just popped up that I won my final fantasy game by 1 point.
Get you some.
Yeah.
Was it like 80-79?
Yes. It was 79-77.
Oh.
1.5, but 77.6. So that in my league, that other league, they do that.
Gotcha.
So what makes me laugh about that is I'm tempted, because this is what I would do when we get off the air, to type some smack talk to the person as soon as we're done here. I'm gonna put, and they're gonna randomly get that message. But what? Oh.
Making any plays this weekend? Staying away from the championship Sunday?
I have been staying away from the championship Sunday. If I could have gotten double digits with the Jags, I think I would have done it.
If it came down to Minnesota minus 2.5, would you jump on the Vikings at that point?
I would.
Okay.
You want the Eagles?
Oh, no.
I'll give that.
I can't do that.
Well, I'd give that to
Bad karma.
Well, you can't do that. Karma doesn't have anything to do with it. They got to go play the game. I'll tell you what you want to do. You want to take New England and give me 7.5, 8, right?
Yeah.
I know that's what you want to do.
Yeah,
I don't like
it.
I want double digits. I want double digits for that game, so I'm not going to.
I can give you 8.5. That's my final offer.
Give me 9.5. I'll take it. It's less than double digits.
For a tall boy, sure.
A singular tall boy.
A singular tall boy.
In honor of Matt Millar,
yeah.
We'll have a singular tall boy. We will do that.
It would have to be Natty, right?
Well, we're not playing for much then. I'll just tell you that.
It's in honor of Matt.
Yeah, I know. Who I love, but I'm just saying. But that's good.
I heard him say it. He went all day.
By the way, the whole thing, and we know it, Jacksonville, run the ball, get after the quarterback, shorten the game. It's doable.
When you put it like that, right?
Right?
Yeah.
It's doable. That's what we're looking at.
Right. But then if you say it the other way.
And I'm rooting for him to do it.
If you say New England, stop the run.
Game over.
Right. And isolate somebody on the linebacker and exploit the matchup.
Well, they're going to do that anyhow, right? The one thing they have to do is stop the run. That game is as simple as games get.
Yeah.
Jacksonville has to run and get after Brady. They could.
Right.
If they do and shorten the game, they can win it. Obviously, New England has to stop Fournette. If they do that, they're going to win the game. So there you go.
We should have a sounder for that, like the cliche but correct analysis.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Sometimes football's that simple. You don't need to complicate things. I mean, that's just what, there we go, man. It's pretty simple. You got to do that. Well, especially because Jacksonville, that's kind of fits their MO so much, right? Run the football, which is, again, very physical, and they want to dominate you, and they want to lord over you and talk to you and get this into a game where their defense is in control.
Yeah.
And it's just perfect for them.
And, I don't really have a problem with this Patriots dynasty like a lot of people do. This is one of the dynasties that I'm more...
You can grow weary, but you're not tired. You don't, sit around thinking about it.
I don't have fatigue like I do Alabama fatigue. Maybe it's because the Bucs aren't good. And
if the Bucs were good and we were constantly being vanquished by them, you would hate them.
Sure.
Like, if you're a Dolphins fan, you hate these
Oh,
Bucs.
God, yeah. You do. Yeah. For 20 years.
Yeah.
20 years.
Yeah.
I do get annoyed every time with the third down they play the goal horn. I just, and it's third down. Could you find something else? Could you just put a video of like a Patriot shooting a bolt action rifle or something? Actually, that's too advanced.
Yeah, that would be too. A musket is what you want them shooting.
Not a bolt action rifle at all. That's World War I.
No, that'd be amazing.
Well, that's a more modern Patriot.
You're like, it would have been awesome if you had been completely inappropriate. Just because they're from Massachusetts, you could have been like, can you just play Lee Harvey Oswald or something? Jesus, Tom.
Well, what if they had, just a video of a Patriot, like a colonial Patriot, and he's got an Uzi, and he's just shooting it up.
Well, that would be very weird.
There it is.
Yeah, probably inappropriate.
It's third down,
and I'm a random Patriot with an Uzi. We love absurdism. Good work out of you. Good job, Matthew. Be well, everybody. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you on Monday.